Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
What are you doing?
My weekly planner.
On your iPad?
On the Zinnia app. It has all different templates and creative tools. It's so much fun. I can import photos and add stickers.
You haven't heard of Zinnia? It helps me keep track of my kids' sports and dance classes right from my iPhone. Zinnia even helps me save important moments, like when my daughter scored the winning goal last week. I was able to upload a picture and the final score.
Wow, okay. It seems like everyone but me uses Zinnia. How do I spell it? Zinnia? All right, I'm downloading it now.
Are you a fan of mystery and adventure? Introducing June's Journey, the captivating free-to-play mobile game that will ignite your inner detective. Play as June Parker in a thrilling murder mystery adventure as you search for hidden objects to uncover the truth behind her sister's death. Step into the glamorous world of the Roaring '20s with stunningly illustrated scenes and over 1,000 mysteries to unravel. With new chapters added weekly, you'll never run out of clues to chase and suspects to interrogate. Plus, you can build your own island escape with beautiful gardens and buildings and even join a detective club to collaborate with other players. Experience the thrill of being a detective and unravel the mystery in June's Journey. Download June's Journey now on your Android or iOS device or play on PC through Facebook Games.
Yeah, just got my Ecobee smart home when nosy Ned next door came over with questions about it. Ecobee? What's that? You should get the system I've got, he said. I told him Ecobee is really smart and listed off a few great Ecobee features. He went from smug to envious real quick. Turns out Ecobee is a lot smarter than his better-known smart home. So I consoled him and said, Ned, get yourself a smarter home. Ned's over a lot now. Visit Ecobee.com today.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith from The Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 19 and episode number 4111. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, The Ted Smith, and Mike Montgomery. And you are the Men's Room. On tap today, Taryn Daly and Steve Miggs from the Daily Miggs Morning Show join us once again. We will sit and spin. And today, we take a partner by the hand with the 10 greatest duets in rock history. We will play Profile This, plus headlines, the Men's Room shout of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorites. We're back. TV time with Tim.
Click, clack.
Drink it to drive. All right, here we go. Attention, Spirit passengers. We finally get to do one of those pesky water touchdowns. Meanwhile, 2 boaters are safe, taking on water, but fortunately, no one drowns. San Diego cop is quick on the job to make the first move. One Ohio school bus driver, in Tampa, definitely has room to improve. And the French plan to serve up a hot bowl of poop for the Olympics. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, Here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, almost everyone has grabbed what they thought was water, only to find out that it was something like Sprite or vodka or some other clear liquid. And plenty of people have grabbed a beer or soda can and realized after that first sip that can was actually serving as your friend's spitter or ashtray. Man, we've all been there. Well, there's a TikToker who recently shared the story of a Tuscan chicken dinner drizzled with some quote-unquote fancy olive oil that her mother had bought online. Well, it didn't take long for them to figure out that the fancy olive oil was actually olive oil shower gel. Yeah, we all make mistakes. And sure, it's a little embarrassing to confuse olive oil with shower gel, but it could be more embarrassing. A family in China, they adopted a cute little puppy. Well, 2 years later, they figured out that their dog was a bear. 2 years. Keep in mind, this dog that they had after 2 years was 250 pounds, walked around on its hind legs and liked fruit, and it didn't bark. But still, 2 years. And by the way, I saw a picture. It looks like a goddamn bear. There's no question this thing's a bear. But hey, these mistakes, they happen. But mistaken identity, it's not just for food, drinks, and pets. In Australia, a group of women, they mistook the cop who showed up to break up their party for a stripper. Now, in the end, even though the cop tried to identify himself, they weren't buying it. So in the end, the cop actually gave up and just left because the women would not stop twerking around him. No arrest were made. He was just like, Jesus, I'm out of here. And then there's comedian Wanda Sykes, who, for whatever reason, gets mistaken for Lenny Kravitz, but only in New Orleans. But that's okay. I've been mistaken for Dennis Rodman, but only in Miami. And Dennis Rodman's real ugly. But today we're talking about mistaken identity. And that brings us to today's question, which is person, place, or thing. Who mistook what for what?
To be a part of the big show, call 206-803-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
I had so many ideas to add to my journal, but would forget by the time I got home. Then I found Zinnia, the app that easily helps me record special moments and ideas, track my goals, schedule self-care moments, and document things that matter most. Zinnia makes creating content and ideas across screens so easy. Zinnia has so many cute journal templates, habit trackers, to-do lists, weekly logs, and more. I use my iPhone on the go and then switch to my iPad to edit, add photos, and draw. Then I can add directly to my socials. Download Zinnia on the App Store today.
Like your kiddo will love Kate Farms Kids Nutrition Shakes. For starters, each nutrient-dense kids shake is made with love for your child's growth and development. With 3 flavors to choose from, strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla, your kiddo will be begging for more. Get 25% off your first purchase with code AUDIO. Exclusions may apply. See katefarms.com for details.
KISW.
Oh, tell us away we go. Welcome to season 19, episode number 4111. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. We'll bring in Taryn Daly and Steve Miggs from the Daily Miggs Morning Show. Once again, we'll sit and spin. And today, according to UltimateClassicRock.com, we have for you the 10 greatest duets in rock history.
10 greatest. When you think duets, man, you know, I go more R&B. Just off the top of my head.
Sure.
I'm sure there's some rock duets, but I can't think of a lot. Rock's not known for the, hey, man, would you like to sing with me on a song?
Yeah.
It's not a thing.
We play a couple. I mean, the hip-hop world, they
Sure, hip-hop does it a lot. R&B
country does it all the time.
Country all the time.
But rock, not as much. But we do have a list of 20. We're bringing the top 10 greatest duets in rock history.
What do you think is the greatest rock duet in history? I'm struggling to think of one.
I mean, golly.
Right. I mean, I just can't think of it.
The greatest one?
How about just name one?
I don't know, man.
I mean, Aerosmith.
And Run DMC. Yeah.
All right. There's a good one. That's, David Bowie and
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury.
Of course.
Queen. Yeah. There's one. I mean, look, we'll find out, I guess. Stevie Nicks did a bunch of them. I don't know
who with. I kind of remember that, but I
don't. She did Don Henley, Stop Dragging My Heart Around.
Oh, right. Okay.
Or was that Tom Petty? No, she did Leather and Lace with Don Henley. So she did a few. I mean, you got to go back in time a little bit for.
I'm just saying
for the duet era, so to speak. So we got those coming up with the 10 greatest duets in rock history. What else do we have for you? Thank you so much for sending us in all the pictures of the Men's Room IPA from Black Raven. We've got a ton of updates. If you haven't been able to find the beer yet, I found it at no less than 4 different grocery stores yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
All right.
But I was on a quest to find the Men's Room beer brat from Lily's Famous Sausage.
You still didn't find the brat, huh?
So, but I bought the German brats, which are great. I mean, look, I just still haven't had the Men's Room beer brat yet.
I haven't either. Castle told us this morning, oh, dude, I smoked some of the beer brat. They were awesome. I'm like, that is good to know.
I went to my spot that it is known to be found in Tacoma. I found the spot for it empty.
Okay.
Really?
All right.
Yeah. Same thing. Throw at RQFC. I was in there yesterday. I was like, I found it that one weekend. I haven't found it again.
I actually went grocery shopping Sunday. I actually volunteered, which never happens, but same thing. I kept a sneaky, same grocery store. Kept my eye out for it. Not there.
No. I went to a Market Time in Fremont. They had our beer. They also had the Men's Room roasted red salsa from San Juan Salsa.
Excellent. I love that salsa.
I got a tub of that. I'm going to use that with some fish over the week here.
Dip responsibly.
Look, it's great to cook with, too. I don't know if you've done that yet.
I haven't cooked with that one. I've cooked with some of their other salsas, but
crock-pot style?
Yeah, I was talking it up on the East Coast all week. I was like, San Juan salsa. We got one with them.
I'll tell you what, I found an amazing recipe that I made up on my own. Well, I've had it out before in different places, but basically it's just a nice piece of fish, good piece of salmon with a salsa on top. Cook a little bit with it. Brings out a lot of great flavors. And
you could open your own restaurant.
That's all you need to do.
That's about it.
Put some stuff on salmon. You're good to go. Oh, what else do we have for you today? Metallica tickets every day in May, as we are still in the month of May as we head down the.
Is it still not Metallica?
No. We're heading down the stretch here. So we have your tickets coming up. They said, hey, give them a secret word, a code word, and text that at 420 to 206-803-ROCK. So be listening around 420 for your chance to win those tickets to see Metallica, as they will get here eventually. It's been so long, I can't even remember the 2 dates involved in it, but I know it's coming up.
Sometime in August?
I think it's
late August,
it's closer than we think. So those Metallica tickets coming up at 420. And today, person, place, or thing, we're going to take the question about mistaking things and who mistook what for what. Now, this happens in all different types of forms and fashion in life, as far as what you think to be one thing and what actually is what is going on. Steve, you told the story many times about one of the times that you went skiing with your wife.
Correct. I want to say it's the one and only time she actually volunteered to ski.
Yep. And you were up at, I believe you were up at Snoqualmie Pass.
Yes.
And, I don't know what you know about skiing, but a lot of black pants. People have different jackets.
They're not people.
But for the most
pants,
part.
yeah.
I know. But for the most part.
I heard black. I see your lips forming a P. I'm like, where does he go skiing? I haven't seen it myself.
Yeah. But there's a general look to most people. I mean,
some people have bunny look, man.
Some people have some colorful jackets or whatever the deal is. But typically everyone, by the time you get a helmet on and goggles around you kind of look the same.
Sure, man. I mean, she had black pants on, a yellow ski coat, which is not unusual, but no problem. But we are not skiers by nature. I can handle my own, but either way, we have to rent skis. No big deal. I think I was probably choking down a cigarette. That's the most likely reason I was not directly in line with her. But she gets in line to rent the skis. No problem. I walk into the little ski rental place. There's my wife, hair pulled back in a ponytail, yellow jacket, black pants, sweet, sweet ass. And I walk her behind her and give her a little smack on the butt, because that's what you get to do when you're husband and wife, right? Just that one quick moment.
It's a love tap.
Yeah, dude, it is. Just like a handful of butt cheek, I love you. And then my wife turns around. But I realize my wife turning around is standing about 20 feet away from me. But the woman whose ass I slapped is not, in fact, my wife. It is another woman who has her hair pulled back in a ponytail, black ski pants, and a yellow jacket. So as soon as she turns around, I'm just like, oh, my God, I am so sorry. And I'm pointing over at my wife. And so the woman whose ass I slapped, she sees my wife, realizes they're wearing the same thing, had their hair pulled back the same. She kind of starts to smile. Well, she's there with her boyfriend. Now, look, I'm 6'4". This dude towered over me. So when I turned around and see him, I'm like, of course, it's like the biggest freaking guy.
Yep.
And he's already pissed because he's kind of like in bro mode, sort of. What are you doing? I said, hey, man, look, seriously, dude, she's dressed like my wife. There's my wife. And I'm like pointing at my wife. My wife now just smiles at me and turns around.
Yeah.
And as though she does not acknowledge that I'm wrong. She's going to let me talk my way out of this. So the guy didn't really say anything, but he has a death stare looking at me. And I'm running my mouth to the point of embarrassment because I just don't want to get punched by this dude. He's a big, big dude. So I realize, well, he's not moving. And he's not saying anything. He looks real angry. So I'm going to keep, like, talking, but I take a step back, like, every 3 syllables. And I realize at this point, I'm about right here, just like, okay, he's not. But he's looking at me the whole time.
Yeah.
And I get over to my wife, and she's like, that was awesome. I'm like, babe, I almost got punched in the face. She's like, hey. Maybe it'll go around.
Did this woman look remotely like your wife?
From the back.
All right. Okay.
I mean, as soon as she turned around, I'm like,
nope.
But look, I've done that twice. We used to work with a woman named Lisa, and we would just harass each other all the time over little things. So in the old building we worked in, same situation. I get off the elevator. There's one of those gas fireplaces in the lobby there, and she's just staring at the fire, daydreaming, whatever. So I walk in behind her. I get right in her ear and go, it's just a fire, dumbass. And this woman who's not Lisa turns around, and I'm like, oh, God. So I just said, listen, I know I sound like the biggest a-hole you're going to meet. She doesn't smile or anything. Sure. I mean, she looks real pissed. And I'm like, look, just from the back, you know what? Never mind. It doesn't matter. Just, I'm sorry. Right? That's it. I'm just sorry. And I walked away. Well, and then I went upstairs and told Lisa, and Lisa laughed and left. She goes, really? I go, yeah. Whispered in this woman's. So, I mean, I'm like right up in her ear. I've crossed all kinds of personal barriers. And when she turned around, I'm just like, Christ. Like, that, you got to be kidding.
I don't know what it is. It's so juvenile about guys and ass slaps. Back to the story in the lodge. Like,
sure.
I never dated someone that did not run up the stairs in front of me because they knew I'd stick my finger and poke a cheek the whole way up. Like, you go first. No, after you. Then boom, 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 boom. They got to chase after just to get one little poke in.
Because it's fun, man. I mean, like when you're a little kid, you'll slap each other's ass, like for your birthday.
Sports, little leagues.
Sure.
I mean, heck, you name it.
Well, it's your significant other. It's like, it's a different kind of love tap. So the difference is, man, if it's a buddy and you slap their ass, you slap their ass.
Yeah. Like if they're standing at the bar and you're coming in, they don't know you're
slap
there
their
yet.
ass.
Bam.
But there's no grip.
Right.
Like Ted has slapped my ass probably 100 times since we've known each other. There's no grip, though. There's no, but when it's your wife, boom. Right, your fingers close because you're trying to cup as you slap, because I want a handful of butt cheek. And I got a handful of butt cheek. It was just the wrong person. Yes. And I'm like, oh, my God, this is bad, man. This is bad. And again, just like I said, of course, her boyfriend is like frickin' Frankenstein. I'm like, Jesus Christ. He's the biggest guy in here by leaps and bounds.
Him, like, just being mistaken from somebody. I've told the story before. I was at a bar. Guy was just staring me the entire night down. I'm like, this guy is going to kill me. To the point where I showed him my ID, and I'm not even sure that he still believed that was my ID.
Yeah.
So finally, he calmed down. Like I was like, I really
Did
don't.
Did he approach you? Did he?
No, this was like a square bar, so you could see across from the bar.
Right.
So he's on the other side of the bar, directly looking at me. I am in direct eyesight of him. But every time I'm trying to look around, like, is he looking at me? And I'm like, oh God, this guy. And I could just see him, like he's just tapping, and I'm like, oh boy, oh no.
Do you think it's a mistaken identity, or do you just
I know
think
for a
this
fact
guy has...
I know for a fact it is.
No, I'm saying at the time, or did you just think, like,
oh, I know I did.
This guy's just singled me out and he wants to beat me to death?
I have done something. Yeah, he knows something, or I don't know, but eventually he starts. He drinks his beer and he sits it on the coaster and he stands up, uses 2 arms to push himself out of the chair, stands up and slowly walks around, and I'm like, oh man, what is going to happen? Because he was one of those dudes who his ears were all messed up. Like it looked like
you have no chance.
Spent years on a mat just getting his head rubbed into it and killing people. And I'm like, oh no, like I'm going to die. And he came over, and whatever name he gave me, I'm like, oh, thank God. I was like, but he still didn't believe me.
Was that your response? Like, thank God.
Yeah, seriously. Ooh. I can't remember.
Was it a bar you go to? Like, did the bartender show?
It was Buffalo Wild Wings before it was. Yes, it was Buffalo Wild Wings. It was BW3 back then. This is how old this was, when they still served Weck sandwiches.
Yeah. Right.
This is like when they did trivia with those boxes. It was that era.
All right.
Of Buffalo Wild Wings. So he comes around, man, and he says the name, and I cannot remember what the name was. But I'm like, oh, thank God. I stood up and I shook his hand. It's like, man, I'm Miles. I don't know who you think I am. And he's still just standing there looking at me. And I'm like, I swear to God, man, I don't know you. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah,
I don't.
sorry
know.
that happened.
I don't know you, and for a while, I kind of thought it was because the way that place was designed, for whatever reason, there was an intake valve that was kind of above where he was sitting, so it was kind of near the kitchen and the grill, right?
Yeah.
So I'm smoking a cigarette, and I'm thinking to myself,
that's how long ago it was. You're indoors.
Yes, as I'm watching the smoke blow over, I'm thinking, okay, this guy's just getting pissed off because my cigarette smoke is blowing in his general direction. But
all right, that's fair.
Everyone's smoking at the bar, so he's still looking at me when he comes over, and I'm like, oh man. So I pulled out my wallet. I'm like, man, look at this ID. Like, I'm serious, man. This is like, I am not who you think I am. And he picked up the ID, he looked at it, he looked at me again, he looked at it and goes, man, he goes, you look exactly like another name. And I'm like, man, I swear to God, that's not me. And the person beside me says, hey, I know him. That is not him. And of course, my buddy goes, oh no, that's Daryl, who you're looking for.
Yeah.
Just messing around. I'm like, shut up. Like, shut up.
That's what friends do.
He thought it was great. He's like, no, man, that's my buddy Miles. And he's still like looking questionably. And he goes, okay, man, all right, I'll believe you. And I'm like, he still doesn't believe me.
Yeah.
And he walked back around.
I mean, I've been on the other side, like no confrontation, but I swear to God at this festival, I turn around and there's a guy that looks like a friend of mine who doesn't live in Seattle anymore.
All right.
Has the same like cadence in his speech pattern and stuff. So I just turn around like, you MFer, how did you not tell me you're coming? And this guy's like, what? And I'm like hugging him. I'm like, who's this? Your new girlfriend? Like, this goes on. And he's like, I am not him, right? But I mean, you're at a show at a festival, so it's kind of dark. And I see him the next day waiting in like the line for the bathrooms or the beer lines. And I'm like, I mean, at this point, I'm much more sober. And I'm like, I swear to God. And he's like,
he still looks like him?
He still looked just like him, was talking with the same mannerisms. And I was like, all right, now that I'm talking to you, I know you're not him. But I'm like, sorry about that last night. And he's like, I don't know, man. This is the first festival I ever came to. And he's like, I was on beer one, and you just came over and started hugging me, kind of cursing me out for not calling you. And he's like, I don't even know you.
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean? So that guy's like, I don't know what the hell goes on at these festivals.
Right. I made mistakes with food. I've told the story before about family dinner. I'm in charge of one thing, brisket. That's it. What did I buy? Corned beef. Two totally different cuts of meat for how you want to make that. And I completely ruined dinner for about 6-7 people that night. And that was one I could never live down from the wife.
I did it at
not for weeks.
My mom.
For weeks.
My mom's boss.
Weren't you making brisket for a Jewish holiday?
Yes.
And you show up with like the St. Patrick's Day meal.
Yeah. Well, I thought
Sorry. My bad.
I went to like the shop and carry, like the cook chef place where you go, like where you walk into a cooler and you get a big slab of meat, right? So to me, it looked exactly like a brisket, but it doesn't look much different in that state. The label is not like it's been vacuum sealed by somebody locally. Yeah. It's got a white sticker.
Well, they're both brisket, but right? But corned beef, just the way it's cured is different.
That's it. And
that's where the problem starts.
I didn't even look at that, right? So I mean I marinated it. I cooked it all day. I mean, this was not.
That's the thing. It's such a long process.
Right. This is. You are really messing up on this one. It was, and as soon as I cut into it, I went, "That ain't brisket. What the hell is that?" And I tasted it. It would have been great with corned beef, like a corned beef and cabbage. It would have been great with potatoes,
even as you cooked it.
Carrots. No, what I mean is, if I would have made it the way it's supposed to be made.
Yes. Well, sure. Yeah.
That's not the traditional Jewish dinner that night.
No, it's really not.
But man, oh man, and then to make matters worse. It was so bad, I tried to get rid of it through the garbage disposal, and I blew that damn thing up, so now the sink doesn't work. So it's just like one thing after
What did you got? Did you end up ordering pizza or something?
I tried to run up real quick to see if they had rotisserie chicken at the QFC.
Yes, traditional Jewish rotisserie chicken.
At this point in time, it's 7, 8 o'clock in the evening.
Oh, those chickens are done.
They're gone.
They're gone, dude.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Gone. There's the slot where they should be.
Yeah.
No chickens. I'm like,
correct.
Oh, man. So basically, we just had sides for dinner.
I did that. My mom had a former boss. Picture someone smoking out of a cigarette extender. That's who this woman was like, right? Except she did not smoke, and she wasn't mean like Cruella de Vil. She was just very avant-garde, this kind of thing. Whatever. I'm 14, 15. She's having a dinner party. My parents are making me go. I really didn't want to go. I liked this woman, but I understood, like, it's going to be me, 15, and then a bunch of adults. I don't want to go. Mom makes me go, fine. The adults ended up being pretty cool, but there's maybe 12 of us there, and it was, you get your own food. You kind of set it up buffet style. Fine. Well, the last thing I grabbed I thought it was some kind of bright red Jell-O.
Like cranberry,
like raspberry or cranberry. Right. And so the rest of the meal, I knew I could stomach the rest of the meal, but I'm like, you know what, man, put this on your plate. You'll just eat that last. That'll be your palate cleanser. A little treat for going through all this crap. My mom, be a gentleman, all this kind of thing. So this is a white linen tablecloth kind of dinner that this woman is throwing. Again, fine. I finish my food on my plate. The last thing I have is the one thing I've been saving, which is inevitably this delicious Jell-O. And I get a big forkful of it, and I put it in my mouth, and within a billionth of a second, I'm like, this is not Jell-O. I do not know what it is. Well, it turns out it was beet salad. I was completely unaware that you could do this with beets the way it was presented. Like
I don't even know if I knew what beets were when I was 14.
When I was, I'd heard of them, but I couldn't identify. And even if you showed me, nothing about this looked like it was born of a vegetable. Again, it looked like really good Jell-O, because beets, for all that awful taste, good-looking vegetable, right? The color's pretty strong, so whatever. I get a forkful of this in my mouth, and instantly I'm like, I am not swallowing this. And let's be honest, Jell-O is probably the easiest thing to swallow. You don't have to chew it, nothing. Right. But it will not make it past my esophagus because I cannot explain the taste in my mouth. That taste, by the way, is beets. I just did not know the beets tasted like straight-up mud. So I got this red mud in my mouth, and now my mom's looking at me. And I was hoping she wouldn't, because she had been engaged in conversation. And she sees that there's a universal look that everyone has on their face when there's food in their mouth, but they don't plan on chewing it. Right? That's exactly it, Ted. It starts in childhood. You know what's going on. So my mom sees the face.
Everything's fine.
I got this white linen napkin, and my mother very slowly is shaking her head like, do not do it. But also her eyes are shooting laser beams at me, right? It's like The Boys. So she is like the role of Homelander now. And she is staring at me, and her face is getting angrier and angrier to the point that, like, the point between her eyes has almost dropped down to the top of her lip. Like, she is truly communicating with me, do not do that. And now I'm looking at her, and I hedge my bets, and I'm thinking, okay, my mom wants to keep up appearances. These are her friends, but she doesn't want her boss to know that I'm about to spit this red-ass crap into her white linen napkin.
Which will never come clean, by the way.
I know this, and I did not care. And I very slowly put it up to my mouth, and my mother's eyes are narrowing as I do this, and finally I just sort of goes, and all the beets are out of my mouth, fold the napkin up, put it back in my lap. My mother stared me down the rest of this dinner, never said anything, right? As soon as we get in the car, she's like, God damn it, did you spit that beet salad? I'm like, yes. I don't know any beet salad. She's like, that red S that you spit into my boss's napkin? I'm like, yeah. She goes, that's beet salad. So I don't know if you had any of that, but it's terrible. That is the grossest thing I've ever eaten.
Even as an adult, I ate a piece of pizza once. It was nighttime. Somebody had just put mushrooms on top of it as they had foraged them that day.
Okay.
I do not like mushrooms, but I fought through it. But even then, as an adult, it's very hard not to gag if you're chewing on a type of food you don't like.
Person, place, or thing, who mistook what for what? 206-803-ROCK.
Nerds. Today's episode is sponsored by NerdWallet's Smart Money Podcast. Get your head in the financial game with smart investing and budgeting tips straight from the nerds. NerdWallet's experts will set future you up for success with dependable, fact-based insights. No financial misinformation allowed. Learn how to save on your summer vacation, find your next credit card, or loan for a big purchase, and invest in your next index fund. Make smarter decisions in 2024. Follow NerdWallet's Smart Money Podcast on your favorite podcast app.
Are you a fan of mystery and adventure? Introducing June's Journey, the captivating free-to-play mobile game that will ignite your inner detective. Play as June Parker in a thrilling murder mystery adventure as you search for hidden objects to uncover the truth behind her sister's death. Step into the glamorous world of the Roaring 20s with stunningly illustrated scenes and over 1,000 mysteries to unravel. With new chapters added weekly, you'll never run out of clues to chase and suspects to interrogate. Plus, you can build your own island escape with beautiful gardens and buildings, and even join a detective club to collaborate with other players. Experience the thrill of being a detective and unravel the mystery in June's Journey. Download June's Journey now on your Android or iOS device, or play on PC through Facebook Games.
Start your summer road trip at Midas and get up to $30 off your next repair service. Plus, get a free closer look vehicle check to make sure you're road trip ready. So if you need a brake service, an alignment check, or tune-up, hit up Midas for up to $30 off. For more details, request your appointment at Midas.com.
Are you ready to unleash superior seating performance in your operation? Choose from 2 revolutionary Great Plains drills. The BD 7600 Min-Till drill, renowned for its seating consistency, large capacity, and innovative technology, including drill command. And the new BD 7410 drill, whose transport width under 10 feet delivers great maneuverability through gates and down narrow roadways. Each model is engineered for the proven performance you've come to expect from Great Plains.
KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Person, place, or thing who was stuck, what for what, 206-803 Rock. We go down under, quite literally. They were looking to cop a field and wound up feeling a cop. A group of excited women were caught on camera mistakenly thinking that a dashing police officer was the male stripper and that he was trying to shut down their rowdy party in Sydney, Australia.
Yeah.
The incident was filmed by a reveler who later posted the footage to TikTok, where it has got more than 8,000 views. So when the cop comes up to shut down the event, they thought that he was the stripper, according to the person taking the video. The footage shows the inspiring lawman bursting through the front door as the female fun seekers squeal with delight. "Stripper!" One giddy woman can be heard exclaiming as several attendees start grinding up against the civil servant. The clip then cuts off before any further action can be seen, but they claim that very cute cop ended up leaving the party shortly after the mortifying moment and letting the folks know that they just needed to keep the volume down, so to speak.
I wonder how long it took him to convince them that he's actually a cop. Because he announced that he is, in fact, a cop. And they're like, "That's sexy." And they all started dancing around him. He had to be like, Jesus Christ, guys.
That's the idea, though.
I mean, I know.
I mean, I've seen the reverse, like fake female cop in a lot of porns. I'm like, maybe people's heads have just gotten a little cloudy.
Yeah.
What is it about it, man? See, if I ever see a cop, I'm like, ooh, look out, cop. I'm thinking to myself, speeding ticket. You
Sure.
know, watch your behavior, all those things. But if I see a hot female cop, I'm like, woo, arrest me, please. Like, my attitude completely changes as far as, not that I would do anything more inappropriate, but in my mind, I'm like, yeah.
I mean, to be fair,
That's serious.
if we're at a party and we've hired a stripper and legitimately a good-looking female cop shows up to shut it down, I don't believe her either. Hey, I'm from the Seattle PD. Like, yeah, you are, mama. Here's a couple bills. Let's get this ball rolling. Next thing you know, I'm locked up. Like, I swear to God, I didn't know.
I swear I thought it.
I really didn't know.
Yeah. Good times.
I'm not good enough looking for that to ever be a problem.
At what point for you is the jig up, though? Okay, she's told you over and over again, I'm an actual real cop. Oh, yeah, okay, now I'm in handcuffs.
When I get tased.
When you get tased.
Because at that point, because here's my thought, right? Maybe they handcuff you. You're like, ooh, naughty girl. Right? But then when you get tased, you go, okay, that's not normally in the setup.
Right.
Okay.
She's reading you the full Miranda rights. You're like, this is starting to get boring.
Yep.
Yeah, let's get to the part where you open your shirt.
Okay, so
you missed that whole right to remain silent part.
Yeah. The last time that we were on the air, Ted, you brought up the time that you met my ex-wife at the time. All right. So Ted knows my girlfriend. All right, but he never met my ex-wife. So I have kid duty for whatever reason. I'm dropping them off, picking them up, whatever the deal was. I can't remember. But nonetheless, Ted just shoots me this look because they look very similar. And I'm like, hey, I'm just like, don't say it. Don't say a word. I know what you're thinking. Don't say a word. But they do look very similar.
You got the card and said, I don't want to hear an effing word.
Yeah, exactly. So when we move out to Seattle, we're here for maybe 3 or 4 weeks, but our prospective girlfriends at the time are both coming on their own, on their own time, and their plan is...
Hasn't changed much now.
Hey, we're going to come out here and, we're going to support you. We're going to live with you, Seattle's very exciting.
Oh, I think I know where this one's going. That was a rough one.
Blah, blah.
Oh, this is awesome.
So we find... and keep in mind, man, we've been living in hotel rooms, and we finally get into an apartment building, blah, 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 blah. It's taken a while to kind of, So, but they eventually show up. My girlfriend at the time, she and her cousin drove across the country with 2 dogs in tow. And the idea was her cousin was going to fly back one way, but she was going to, help her out on the drive,
Sure.
take turns driving, spend the night in hotels together, help with the dogs, the whole deal. So this is a 3.5 to 4 day ordeal. The car that she was driving, like, blew up in Illinois. They had to, change. I mean, it was just one thing after another. They got involved in storms in Wyoming or Montana.
Right.
I mean, it was not an easy trip. She finally makes it here. She kind of settles in. She sends her cousin off, the whole deal. And we are going to go out to a bar for the very first night. Now, the bar is up on First Hill, which was close to our apartment.
Uh-huh.
And the name of that bar was the Fourth Quarter?
The Quarter.
The
Just
Quarter.
the Quarter.
The Quarter.
The Quarter Lounge.
The Quarter
Yeah.
Lounge.
I think it's closed now.
Yes, no longer there.
After the pandemic.
It's right near the KGB Deli, as we used to call it.
I couldn't tell you the name of this deli.
Oh, great sandwiches in there.
If these two women
they're
did not
still
work
open.
for the KGB is a farce. I'm telling you, as soon as you walk in, we're going to get you calmed down. This is up front.
Yeah. But in the meantime.
They are Polish, though.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, Ted.
But in the meantime, since we've moved into this apartment, this is our bar. We know the bartender. We know the bartender's girlfriend. We know the owner. We know all these different people. So we do have a little bit of a group of people that we know because we've talked to them. So my girlfriend at the time shows up, and I turn around, and keep in mind I was married for a while before that, but the owner comes up, and I want to introduce my girlfriend to the owner of the bar. And I said, hey.
How many of us were sitting at the table? I going 8 or 9?
Well, that was the problem, too. It's like we'd gone over after work, so it's like, right, like Ben's, there's like a group of us. You're right. And we're like at this giant table where you got to, Mike, it's one of those ones with booths. You got to kind of slide in and slide out.
Yeah. So he comes over, and I said, hey, I want to introduce you to my girlfriend, Beth. Oh, no. That was my ex-wife. Oh, no. And I mean, record scratch. The next thing I know, my girlfriend, who is not the biggest drinker in the world, is now at the bar doing shots of Yukon Jack.
Oh, correct. So I missed the comment.
I didn't.
You know me. I'm probably talking to somebody, right? And your girlfriend, again, who was not she would drink, but not a big drinker.
No.
And she grabs my arm and it's like, let's go to the bar and get shots. I'm like, cool.
Exactly.
So it's kind of taking, we banged down 2 in a row. And I'm like,
This is Yukon Jack, and again, and this woman weighs maybe $1.05 and does not drink like we do.
She explained what happened, and I was like,
3,000 miles she drove in a car with 2 dogs, staying in hotels that were sketchy enough along with all this to come out and be with me. Yeah. And I mean, within a day, 2 or 3 hours. I can't remember the timeline on this.
It wasn't long, bro.
I mean, that was the biggest mistake ever. I mean, and just the leers. And this was not an easy person to calm down as far as, when she was mad at me, it was, I don't know what, there was no way out. I just had to just eat it for as long as I could. But it took a while. But
And this is the beginning of her time in Seattle.
No,
man.
I mean, she wasn't even here a minute, it seemed like. Whatever it was not long enough for me to do this. But I just, the whole thing was just like, oh, God, this is not going to go well.
And it's weird when you're sitting there because I'm like, I know he just said Beth, right? But I don't want to have any kind of response in case the now girlfriend missed that. Mm-hmm. She didn't, and you can just tell by the look on her face like, Miles going to have a bad night, dude.
I know exactly where you're. I made the same mistake when my wife and I started dating. I believe it was our first-year anniversary that I called her by the wrong name.
On your anniversary?
Oh, it was your birthday. My bad. It was her birthday.
Oh, wow. Come on in.
Yeah.
Come on in. I want to hear this.
That's even worse,
Yeah,
Mike.
it was her birthday. We were driving in the car.
That's my number one fear every time I get in a relationship is screwing up the name.
But on the birthday?
On the birthday. I forget what...
Hello, Mrs. Hawk.
Yeah. Got we're going to Pearl Jam tonight, so she's hanging with us here in studio. Yeah, it was your birthday, wasn't it? I forget what we were fighting about. I called you by my ex's
You
name.
were already fighting and you called her by the wrong
we
name?
weren't
Were we fighting?
I don't know that we were fighting. I don't know, but you just
You were after that.
blinked,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, I was like, excuse me?
The car got real quiet after that. I believe I heard some sniffling and some tears from the side of it. Like there was no recovering from it.
No.
I just
No, we
completely went just dog down. I
How
couldn't-
long?
to
How
my
long did
parents.
you hold this over his head? Because it's
I
a big
didn't
flow.
bring it
What?
up for like 3 years, I feel like.
Well, you don't have to bring it up, but look, as a dude,
How long? We've been dating for how long?
know-
We've been married now for how many years?
We know when we've screwed up, right? And like Mike said, things get real silent, and I swear to God, it feels like the temperature drops.
Oh God.
Everything. So it's not an issue of you necessarily bringing it up, but you can tell when it's still top of mind. Was Mike much nicer the next day? Would you like
No,
breakfast?
I don't think so. I think he just tried to pretend like it didn't happen.
I did not try to pretend like
you did.
I tried to move on from it. But I just sat there like a kicked out. I think I apologized over myself. I knew that there was no recovering from it.
No, you can't.
I had absolutely just shattered her on there. It's her birthday. I just ruined her doggone birthday. So I'm kicking myself the rest of the day. I just hope that we'd move on from it the next day.
It doesn't work like that, bro.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't work like that.
Still, I don't
My
have to down.
first birthday with you.
It was.
Good time.
It was the first
Yes.
birthday. Sorry, babe.
I would also say names get screwed up. Like, I just spent a week with all my family back east.
Yeah.
It's amazing how quickly you screw up the names. Like, my brother's calling me his son's name. I was calling my niece by her mom's name. Like, there's just, I don't know, there's so many of them. And you kind of, like, I remember my parents doing it to me, and I was like, how could they forget? But then, like, you just get so used, I think he gets so used to saying CJ. Like, he's like, you want to get another beer, Siege? And I'm like, I am your brother, Ted. I am 43. But yes.
Right. How many times did your parents do it to you? Between me and my brother.
Especially if you have a brother.
To this day, like, there's caller ID on the freaking phone, right? So I will call my mother. And we've been talking for 20 minutes. And she'll still be like, well, Adrian, wait, which one of it is it? I'm like, it's your youngest one. She's like, right, Steve, whoever, doesn't matter. And then she keeps going. I'm like, this is like every phone call. This is for 55 years, you keep calling me your other son's name.
My dad made a pretty large blunder earlier this year. See, I was gone earlier this year, flew down to Phoenix, Arizona to go to that auction down there at the Boys and Girls Club. And it's one that my old man has been trying to get me into for a while. He's got me down there so that I can meet everybody that's down there so that they're used to seeing my face, so that eventually when I take the stage in there, they know who I am. And he's made a big deal about me being down there. He's trying to get me down there every year so that I can get reps in with these people, right? So we go down there and we do the auction. The final item of the night is this big trip. You're going out to Dubai. You're going to see the F1 race in Abu Dhabi. Or maybe I've got that reversed anyway. It's a big trip that's over there. Yeah. We've already got it kind of organized there that somebody's going to stand up and bid $1 million on this item, and that's what what we're going to sell it for, right? Little did I know that my dad has now gone on a tour of telling all of his auction buddies that he has now sold his first $1 million item. The very next week, I am in the car and I give him a phone call just to chat on the way to my auction with him on his way to his, and he says, "Did I tell you I sold my first $1 million item last week?" I said, "Oh, did you?" He says, "Yeah, it was down there in Phoenix at the Boys and Girls Club auction. It was this great package that, we did we did flying out to Abu Dhabi, and then you're going to go to Dubai and we'll catch the race." I said, "Dad, are you serious right now?" He says, "Did I tell you the story already?" I said, "Dad, I told you the story already, didn't I?" I said, "I was there. I was working the damn floor."
Here's another one where I mess up, all right? So we move into our own place together. And there was a McMiniman's restaurant that was in Fremont back in the day. It's now Sean O'Donnell's, I believe.
Oh, Dad Watson's.
Yeah, Dad Watson's,
Yeah,
all right?
yep.
But the bathroom's in the back, and it's kind of like I was turned around or whatever, but they had booths, all right? So so I go to the bathroom. I'm walking down. I walk past where my girlfriend is sitting in the booth, okay? I see a girl in the next booth that has brown curly hair. All right, she's sitting. I completely misjudged where everything was. I walk right past my wife. I turn to the left and I plop down in the booth. But I was like, I think as soon as I sat down, I just kind of picked up the menu and I'm looking at it. And then I look up and there's this Asian woman just staring at me like, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" And then I look around and I lean over and she's just she's like leaning over like the South Park with, like, "Go ahead and say it."
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, man." Damn it. So, sit up, go over there. She's like, "You don't know what I look like?" And I'm like, "Oh, my God."
I just thought she was pretty.
Yeah, it's exactly like
that. Make it better.
This woman is like, "I am so sorry. I thought this is where we were sitting with my girlfriend. I'm right over there. My bad." And she did not say a word.
Probably looked at your girlfriend and said, "We don't look alike, sir."
And then I sat down, and she, of course, puts the menu down like, "Do we really want to eat here?" And I'm just like, "Oh, come on. Did I really dig it that bad of a hole because I'm just not paying attention walking out the bathroom?"
Yes.
The answer is yes.
Yes, you did.
I mean, all right, one more quick one. I was at a fire at Taryn's house, right? They're having a big bonfire. Now, Taryn's husband, Brad, has a sister who has blonde hair. But it's later in the night. Brad's out by the fire. I said, "I'm going to walk out there." It was a nice afternoon, whatever. So I obviously think it's Taryn. put my hands on her shoulder, and like kind of just whisper, like, "Thanks for having me over. It's an awesome. Love you, bud." Like rub her shoulder, she turns around. That is not Taryn. And like she's staring at me. Brad's like, "What the hell, dude?" I'm like, "I thought it was." I think I just walked away. I was like, God, that was uncomfortable.
That is very comfortable.
And to this day, I think it was his sister. It could have just been some other random woman. I don't know. Because a lot of people spent the night. The next day, I was like, does anybody remember me
touching them?
Awkward with somebody's. Like, who was that?
A drunken man confused a Miami Beach boardwalk for a road, and he drove a blue 2021 Toyota Corolla into the water of Government Cut, a channel between South Beach and Fisher Island. This happened 7 a.m. on a Sunday. A real estate broker said he heard a loud noise and saw the car in the water from his high-rise apartment in the south of the 5th area. As citizen journalists often do, he rushed to the park and started filming. This guy is drunk, just came from a bar, and thought that the pier was a road. Video shows two women telling Miami Beach police officers...
He had just come from the bar.
At 7 a.m.
At 7 a.m. Jeez.
Yes. A lot of private clubs down there.
Yeah, I guess, man. Damn.
They saw the driver speeding and heading right into the water. Miami Beach police officers later identified the driver as Yendiv Dominguez, who lives in Miami's Flagami neighborhood. He managed to swim out of the car. His clothes were wet. He was barefoot. Divers responded to search for others in the water. They didn't find anyone because he was alone when he crashed his Corolla. Police officers reported that he admitted to drinking alcohol. His breath obviously smelled like it. He had bloodshot, watery eyes and slurred speech, and he failed the sobriety test. But he drove the car off the pier,
thinking that it is a road.
Into the water. They arrested him after fire rescue personnel and staff determined he was not injured, according to the reports. And he was charged with driving under the influence. A tow truck driver from Beach Towing later responded and basically had to take a rope and pull that damn thing out of the water.
Yeah.
Crank and get it back on the beach.
When my family was really into off-roading, we took a trip down to see my uncle at his property down in the area of Cathlamet, which is down right there on the border of Oregon, Washington, more towards the west. And he's got this nice big old property that's out there in a wooded area, and we were riding dirt bikes at the time. They were dual sports. We could ride them on-road and off-road. And he said that he's got this area back there that's full of trails that we can go and ride in there. We're still kind of learning at this time, so it sounds like the perfect opportunity for us to go, right? So we go on down there, we cart all of our stuff down there, we take the bikes out and we go for a ride, but we don't quite know where we're going. So our family friend is leading the pack and he's taking us down this area trying to find where this trail is at. Eventually, we break into what he believes to be is the spot that we can start riding. So we're riding around the trail a little bit, and pretty soon we break into this open field, wide open field, right? And he busts out into the field, and he looks over, and there's two guys that are working at a truck. They don't give us a 1-2 look before they look at the two Rottweilers that are sitting by the truck and then send them over our way. Yeah, so then we just bail the hell out of there, right? Little did I know that my old man has held back behind us, because the owner of the property has stopped him with a gun in his doggone waistband, who's telling him that you guys need to get the hell out of here. What the hell are you doing? Get the hell off my property and whatnot. So this turned into a huge situation that luckily nothing ever came of it. Like, that was the extent of it, is that there was a gun flash, there were dogs sent out, and we got the hell out of there.
How much ground did those dogs cover?
Oh,
you can say any dog, they all run considerably faster than you think they
right,
can.
I feel like it was 30, 35 yards, whatnot, and they cleared it quick. But we got the hell out of there because this would have boiled into a bad situation.
And it depends on the command. I had a buddy, and this is not mistaken identity, but this, back in Baltimore City, we were teens, and this is when like the Yamaha scooters first became big, right? So he got himself a Yamaha scooter, very excited about it. We know it's not fast. He's bragging that it can hit whatever speed. One of the guys in the neighborhood, for protection for his grandmother, she had gotten this Doberman, and it's one of these German-trained Dobermans. Whatever. So he says this thing can outrace the Doberman. So now they're going back and forth. It's like there's no way. So I'll even give you a head start. The guy with the dog, he gives the guy in the Yamaha a head start. The guy in the Yamaha takes his head start. I don't know, he's maybe 40 feet away. And this guy says whatever he says to this dog in German. And this dog takes the F off. So now the guy that owns the dog just goes, oh, no. And we're like, what? And you can say, like, go, and it will run, but he basically said the equivalent of attack.
Kill it.
So, man, this dog, I cannot explain how fast this dog closed the distance. So, meanwhile, we got in that Yamaha. We just see him keeps looking over his shoulder now because he realizes this dog's about to close the gap. Well, it's a dead-end road, and then it goes down into a gully, and there's a bunch of trees. So now we're running down there to see what's going to happen. He keeps looking over. We see the Yamaha go over the gully. He disappears for a second. We hear the dog barking its face off. By the time we get there, this dude on the Yamaha, his scooter's messed up, and he's about 15 feet up in a tree. Oh, yeah. He's like, get your effing dog, man. Get your effing dog. He's like, sorry, man, I gave him the wrong command. I don't give enough.
He took a bite of him?
He did not.
Okay, good.
He crashed his Yamaha and scrambled up the tree.
Person, place, or thing who mistook what for what? 206-803-ROCK.
What are you doing?
My weekly planner.
On your iPad?
On the Zinnia app. It has all different templates and creative tools. It's so much fun. I can import photos and add stickers.
You haven't heard of Zinnia? It helps me keep track of my kids' sports and dance classes right from my iPhone. Zinnia even helps me save important moments, like when my daughter scored the winning goal last week. I was able to upload a picture and the final score.
Wow, okay. It seems like everyone but me uses Zinnia. How do I spell it? Zinnia? All right, I'm downloading it now.
Nerds. Today's episode is sponsored by NerdWallet's Smart Money Podcast. Ready to expand your financial game? NerdWallet can coach you on smart strategies like choosing investments, finding your next credit card, and setting a budget that works for you. Score major points towards your summer vacation by learning expert tips for choosing a high-yield savings account and how to build wealth by investing in index funds. Slide into summer with smarter decisions in 2024. Follow NerdWallet's Smart Money Podcast on your favorite podcast app. Future you will thank you.
Are you a fan of mystery and adventure? Introducing June's Journey, the captivating free-to-play mobile game that will ignite your inner detective. Play as June Parker in a thrilling murder mystery adventure as you search for hidden objects to uncover the truth behind her sister's death. Step into the glamorous world of the Roaring '20s with stunningly illustrated scenes and over 1,000 mysteries to unravel. With new chapters added weekly, you'll never run out of clues to chase and suspects to interrogate. Plus, you can build your own island escape with beautiful gardens and buildings and even join a detective club to collaborate with other players. Experience the thrill of being a detective and unravel the mystery in June's Journey. Download June's Journey now on your Android or iOS device or play on PC through Facebook Games.
Rev up your drive with Volkswagen of Bellingham's exclusive offer. For a limited time, get behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Volkswagen Atlas, Taos, or Tiguan with 4.9% APR for 72 months. Head to Volkswagen of Bellingham today to drive home in style. This offer is only valid through March 4th. Terms and conditions apply. Visit VolkswagenofBellingham.com to learn more.
Are you a fan of mystery and adventure? Introducing June's Journey, the captivating free-to-play mobile game that will ignite your inner detective. Play as June Parker in a thrilling murder mystery adventure as you search for hidden objects to uncover the truth behind her sister's death. Step into the glamorous world of the Roaring '20s with stunningly illustrated scenes and over 1,000 mysteries to unravel. With new chapters added weekly, you'll never run out of clues to chase and suspects to interrogate. Plus, you can build your own island escape with beautiful gardens and buildings and even join a detective club to collaborate with other players. Experience the thrill of being a detective and unravel the mystery in June's Journey. Download June's Journey now on your Android or iOS device or play on PC through Facebook Games.
I've been on the hunt for the perfect planner for years, but could never find anything that worked for my life. Then I found Zinnia, an app that's totally customizable and makes planning so easy. Zinnia helps me record special moments, track goals, schedule self-care, and document my life. Zinnia has so many cute journal templates, habit trackers, to-do lists, and more. I use my phone on the go, then switch to my iPad to edit, add photos, and draw, and voila! Everything looks great. Am I obsessed? Maybe. Shh. Download Zinnia on the App Store today.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
Meet the Bed by Thuma, the perfect platform bed frame. Thoughtfully handcrafted from upcycled wood, the bed is strong, backed by a lifetime warranty, and ships directly to your door. Assembly takes 5 minutes, no tools needed. To get $25 towards the bed, go to Thuma.co. That's THUMA.co to receive $25 off your purchase of the bed. Shop the bed at Thuma.co.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Metallica tickets every day. May will give you the secret word, the code word, coming up at 420. When you hear that, text that to 206-803-ROCK. In the meantime, our question, person, place, or thing, who mistook what for what?
Got a couple of texts here, and luckily, Miles, you and I are old enough to remember this, but it says, growing up in the 70s and 80s, I used to get mistaken for Adam Rich, who played Nicholas Bradford on 8 is Enough. That would be the youngest kid on the show, 8 is Enough.
All right.
I hate to say it, man, that means you had a horrible haircut. That's mostly what I remember about Adam Rich.
Like a bowl cut.
Yeah. It says, we borrowed my buddy's dad's car. We hop in. My buddy thinks it's a good idea to take a drink from the cup in the cup holder. It was his dad's juice spit. Yeah, he threw up. I like this one. When I was a kid, I mistook a handle of Bacardi Silver for a jug of water. Now, my parents freaked out because they realized there was an empty jug next to me in the backyard. They thought I drank all the rum. But no, little 5-year-old me was using the rum for mud making in my dirt pit. I think I would actually feel better if my kid had drank it. I know it sounds awful. Because you go like, look, man, this is rum. It's booze. This is a prized possession to me and your mom, right? So, put it this way. If I come home and my kids threw some teen party, right, and you realize they blew through a bunch of your booze, like, I'm pissed, but you at least used it for the right thing.
Right, yep.
If you're out there and you got a bottle of Jack Daniels, like, Dad, I made a mud castle. Be like, man, I know it's not good that you drink it, but next time, son, I'd rather you take a shot than dump it in the frickin' dirt.
This is one I felt horrible about. It was obviously a mistake. So my brother comes into town, and he's going to be here for like 3 or 4 days. He's doing business in Seattle. You're staying with me.
All right.
This is when I moved Fremont. So about a week before that, I ended up at the Home Depot.
All right.
And I got myself a gas grill. So it took me, what seems like 2 days to put this damn thing together because it was in a box. I did not buy a floor model. I bought the one that they had on sale in the box. So every night I would work on this thing a little bit more. I put the entire thing together, all good. 2 days later, I finally make it down to the U-Haul place, get some propane.
Get the propane filled up.
My brother comes into town. Keep in mind, this is in the winter months. One of the reasons I bought the
brother
grill.
or brother-in-law?
My brother.
Okay.
The grill's on sale, winter months. It's in a box. They don't have those things out. You know what I mean? It's just like they're having a sale because it's the winter time. It's getting darker earlier on. It's the rainy season, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But now I've got this whole rig put together. It's on my deck. I've got a grill. I've got the propane. We're gonna make steaks. We're gonna fire this bad boy up, right?
All right.
So I go to me and my brother, we go to the Safeway in Ballard. Now, it's not the best lit parking lot. It's not the worst lit parking lot, but it's raining. It's dark, all those things. My brother and I, we go in, we get our stuff. We're walking out. I look at the car, all right? Now, keep in mind, I just got this car. So this is the car I drive now, all right? So I hadn't had it very long. It's in the parking lot, and there is someone who's at the door, and they are shaking the handle, all right? But all I see is a hood, okay? And they are kind of hunched over the door of the car. So we've only got a couple bags. I'm carrying them. I hand them to my brother, and I'm like, all right, when this person was shaking the handle, my car has an alarm on it, but when you shake it initially or you try to open it up, it just beeps at you.
Yeah.
Like tweet, tweet, and the lights kind of like give you a little warning before it goes full alarm. Full alarm, all right?
Yeah, it's the snake rattle.
So my car is doing this tweet, tweet, and I see the lights, and I'm like, are you kidding me? We were in there for no more than 10 minutes. We grabbed a couple steaks, a couple potatoes, whatever the hell we got. We were out the door, and now, in that amount of time, someone's going to try to steal my effing car, right? So I am pissed. So with my hand as hard as I could, my right hand, I went up to, their back is facing, they're looking into my car window, and I take my right hand, and I hit them on the left shoulder, boom, like, hey, buddy, as hard as I like smack, like on the shoulder. It's a woman who's at least 60 years old.
Oh damn, dude.
She's got a hood on.
Because it's raining?
she had a white Toyota RAV4, basically the same car that I own, okay? And it's literally 2 to 3 cars down from my vehicle.
Yeah.
She thought that was her car. And I mean, I gave that shoulder a little bit of force and a little pull back because I'm about ready to turn around.
You're pissed.
I'm gonna drop this person. I'm gonna knock this guy out, right?
All right.
And she had this terrifying look on her face.
I'm probably scared to death.
Oh my God. And my brother's like, he's ready too. My brother's, he's a bigger guy. And he's ready to jump as well. And I mean, she turned around and I kind of almost, before I saw her, we're going to throw his ass up against the door. Yeah. Because I thought some dude was trying to steal my car.
This young man. Mm-hmm.
And this woman looked at me and she's like, I can't get into my car. And I was like, oh, God, no. Oh, no. So I was like, ma'am, this is my car. I am so sorry. I did not mean to hit your shoulder that hard.
Probably separated her shoulder.
I did not mean to turn you around quickly by your jacket. I did not mean to do any of this stuff.
Oh, no, you meant to do all of it just to a different person.
Right.
An 18-year-old dude.
Yeah. But she also had a couple garbage. She had a couple of grocery bags between her feet. So I thought, okay, and I'm like, oh my God. And then I like kind of walk around. I'm like, what kind of car do you drive? And she told me, and I was like, oh ma'am, I'm sorry. It's right over here. Please. I was like, are you okay? Is your shoulder okay? And she's like, hold on. Just give me a second. Like I was like, man. Oh man. And my brother's like, smooth. Right. Yeah.
It's a good look.
Person, place, or thing. Who mistook what for what? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Eric. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola. So I've been lucky enough to travel a bit, and just about all the countries I've been to, Iceland, Norway, the Netherlands, they always mistake me for a local.
I'm guessing you have what, blonde hair, pale skin, blue eyes?
Yes, sir.
Because when I was in Ireland, no one thought I was a local.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the best one was I was in Iceland during, I think it was the 2018 World Cup.
All right.
This was the first time Iceland was in the World Cup, so everybody there was going nuts, a lot of beer everywhere, and the teams that I root for didn't qualify, so, I bought some Iceland gear and hanging out, having a good time with my buddy, drinking a lot. And one of the bars, I go into the bathroom. It's packed, so I just take the urinal. A guy comes next to me wearing full U.S. gear. And he's just going, oh, man, I'm so happy to be here with you guys during this. And there was a lot of alcohol, so I let the fact that he's talking to me go. But then it got to the point where I'm like, dude, I was born in Washington. Like, I'm an American.
Did he believe you?
I don't know if he did.
I mean, though, if you're a white guy in Iceland, I would just assume you're Icelandic, too.
Well, you said blonde hair, blue eyes, that goes a long way, right?
Yeah.
That's just what you picture. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but that's what you picture. Have you visited anywhere that's not these northern places, like, I don't know, went to Spain and people still thought you were Norwegian or something?
No. Nothing like that. It also doesn't help that my hair is long.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely more of a U.S. thing than almost anywhere else.
That'd be a cool experience, though. I mean, to be in the home country when they're playing in the World Cup, and that's.
We've had that experience before, right here in the good old U.S. of A.
Yes, we did. Yeah. Ted, was it you? Did you get in the back of like a Prius or something, or somebody's car at a bar?
Oh God, yeah, Milwaukee. We were on like our tailgate trip.
Yeah,
but like we weren't going to a game. We just picked Milwaukee to kind of meet in the middle of the country.
Sure.
So same thing, like the Brewers were playing in a playoff game. So basically it's kind of like we tailgated the whole day. But we didn't have tickets to the playoff game. So then it's later in the night. My brother and Will, they got to fly back to the East Coast. They've already gone home. Me and my buddy Marshawn, we're putting down some drinks. And then finally I got to go. And I'm looking for this Uber, and same thing. It's like white RAV4 or whatever. So I go up to a white RAV4, try on the door, it won't work. And then, like, I start knocking. And, I mean, that dude put down his window and was like, you're doing too much. Get the F away from my car.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, he was pissed, right? And not in a good mood. So, yeah, that's bad. I blatantly once just hopped in the back seat of an Uber, and I go, hey, there's a book bag back here. And she goes, that's my bag. why are you in my car? And I was like, oh my God. It was a Prius. It was right out front of my house. So that's bad.
When Uber first started, wasn't every vehicle they used a Prius?
No, it started with town cars.
Was it town cars?
Yeah.
Because I feel like at one point they all kind of had the same car, no matter who picked you up, right? And I don't know who gave it to, whatever the deal was, but I just heard about people getting in the wrong Uber a lot. And that's before I joined Uber, because now it's just whatever the hell. Now it's Teslas.
Oh, yeah. And I get it from the gas standpoint, as far as how much you drive and everything.
Yeah,
I mean, to me, that's out of my price range as far as being able to afford a car.
My problem is getting the hell out. Every time I get in one, I forget how to open the back door in between trips. I'll be in the Uber, and I'm like, hey, man, just do me a solid. I'm like, there's 3 buttons, but which goddamn one? And he just laughs every time. They're like, you're not the only one. I'm like, thank you.
But a Tesla ain't going to let you in. You can open up a Prius door, just walk up.
That's true. That's true.
I will say, when I went down in November to Austin to visit my buddy and his girl, their neighbor upstairs, he had a friend, he had a girl, and that's English. Right? So, in her defense, like, we're in Texas. She doesn't know accents a ton.
Sure.
And the whole night before we go to this game, I'm talking about, you got to get a corn dog. And eventually she goes, I don't understand. I said, think of like a cheap beef Wellington. She's like, what? I'm like, right. It's like wrapped inside corn. It's like a super cheap beef Wellington. Kind of same idea. So we're laughing, joking. Game day, I got on a Texas football shirt and everything. So then you fast forward, hours later, we're upstairs in his neighbor's. And I'm talking about getting my flight the next day, and she's like, oh, I just assume you're from Texas. I was like, no, I'm from Seattle. But, like, if you don't know accents, you wouldn't know.
Yep. Yeah, I guess if you don't know, you don't know.
Person, place, or thing who mistook what for what? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Dan. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, Bichola.
Hola.
I meet a German girl, and I'm in her farm. The 200-year-old house, it's grandma, mom, brother, sisters, the whole shebang. I'm the first American to step foot on this land. And so I chew, right? And it was like week 2 of this relationship. And I'm over there introducing myself, spitting in a beer bottle, and the day goes on, and then my future mother-in-law picks up this beer bottle and takes this huge swig. And as she grabs this thing, I'm like, oh no, don't do it. And she takes a full swig, gulps it down, and then just stoically walks out of the room.
And throws up.
I don't know what she did. Don't know what she did, but I was mortified. I'm like, oh God, I'm never going to be invited to this house again.
Now, did it come up again? I mean, within the day? Like, at any point did her mom say, look, I don't understand this habit of the spitting in the bottle, but I just drank it?
Nope, never came up again at all.
If you brought it up to her now, would she giggle about it or be like, is that what the hell that was?
She would if she was alive. But,
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
she
a tough
doesn't
one.
speak English, so.
Like you said, she just stoically got up and walked out. Didn't make a big scene, nothing like that.
Swallowed it and then just walked out the room.
Probably didn't taste much different than Jägermeister. Minty and dark.
I mean, look, man, we've all been there. I've had a quick sip of someone's chew spit, but I was much younger, but I was not stoic. And it was very clear that I had just done this. Like, Jesus Christ! You throw the cup, and
I threw up.
And then
I
yell
just
at the
threw up.
person by name, like, Ted! And already you're like, my bad. I know what it was.
I mean,
Or
you don't run into
the
this.
cigarette butt.
You don't run into it as an adult, but when you're in your early 20s, right? Like, people will mix
constantly
cheap vodka with anything.
Anything,
It's
right?
the same thing. Me and my buddy were at somebody else's house or whatever. I think we were in a dorm room for a formal. But we get up in the morning. Your mouth's just dry. And I mean, me and my buddy just start chugging these Gatorades. And same thing. We almost basically just puked because somebody had filled up, put vodka in them.
Oh, God.
But we didn't know. And just yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? It's one thing if you get up and you're going to brunch and you've decided to have some booze. But when you're just trying to take a sip of something and it has booze in it when you're hungover, it's awful.
But it's weird. It doesn't matter how it works. If you think it's vodka and it's something as benign as water, it's still a shock to your system.
Yeah.
And as soon as you think you're going to consume something, or somehow your body just prepares. We had a text that came in earlier. Look, you can mess up foods. To me, these would be the two worst to mess up as far as what you're expecting. And I don't know, I can't remember if they grabbed a grape, thinking it's a grape, and it ended up being an olive, or they thought they were about to eat an olive, and it ended up being a grape. But to me, I'm like, man, as far as foods that I guess on some level look the same, but taste completely different, man. And look, I like olives, grapes I can handle, but man, if I thought I'm eating an olive and popped a grape in my mouth, I'd freak out.
Person, place, or thing who mistook what for what? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, David. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, a few years back, my wife's best friend was visiting. We were making up some food and stuff like that. I had just gotten home from work, walked in the kitchen, and smacked her on the behind, thinking it was my old lady.
All right.
And, she turned around, and after letting out a gasp, and I instantly went deer in headlights after realizing you were not my wife. And Melissa comes in the kitchen, and she already knew that they've been girlfriends for a long time, and they both just start busting out laughing. My wife has never let me live that down to this day.
Well, as long as they laugh through it.
That's the best you can hope for.
As long as she found it to be entertaining and knows that it was not malicious, that's the most important thing.
Now, did she ever ask you whose ass felt better in your hand?
No, she sure did it, but they do make the comment that we have the same butt.
Yeah, your butts look alike.
That's right.
I mean, I wasn't looking. I just saw from behind.
I might just try that on the slide next time. Oh, I thought it was a different butt.
Thought you were my girlfriend.
Sorry. Person, place, or thing who mistook what for what? 206-803-ROCK.
I had so many ideas to add to my journal, but would forget by the time I got home. Then I found Zinnia, the app that easily helps me record special moments and ideas, track my goals, schedule self-care moments, and document things that matter most. Zinnia makes creating content and ideas across screens so easy. Zinnia has so many cute journal templates, habit trackers, to-do lists, weekly logs, and more. I use my iPhone on the go and then switch to my iPad to edit, add photos, and draw. Then I can add directly to my socials. Download Zinnia on the App Store today.
Are you a fan of mystery and adventure? Introducing June's Journey, the captivating free-to-play mobile game that will ignite your inner detective. Play as June Parker in a thrilling murder mystery adventure as you search for hidden objects to uncover the truth behind her sister's death. Step into the glamorous world of the Roaring '20s with stunningly illustrated scenes and over 1,000 mysteries to unravel. With new chapters added weekly, you'll never run out of clues to chase and suspects to interrogate. Plus, you can build your own island escape with beautiful gardens and buildings, and even join a detective club to collaborate with other players. Experience the thrill of being a detective and unravel the mystery in June's Journey. Download June's Journey now on your Android or iOS device, or play on PC through Facebook Games.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
Yeah, I got an Ecobee smart home, and nosy Ned next door comes over to see. I told him about Ecobee. Turns out Ecobee's a lot smarter than his better-known smart home. I told him, Ned, get yourself a smarter home. Visit ecobee.com today.
9 KISW. The men's room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Fairly Big's morning show on the way. We'll sit and spin. We got the 10 greatest duets in rock history coming up right after emails on our question. Person, place, or thing, who mistook what for what? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Devin. Welcome to the men's room.
How you doing, guys?
Hola.
Hola. So I was staying with my girlfriend when I was like 18, and I had a friend over, and she was driving him home. I had to go to bed for work the next day, and then they leave, and I take out the garbage, and I see her car, and it's like bouncing up and down. So I ran over to her car and slapped the hood as hard as I could, and pulled open the door, and was trying to pull the guy out, and it was not my girlfriend's car.
Oh,
2 other people having sex in the same parking lot with the same exact car, basically.
So what do you do? What do you do in that moment? Like, what's the conversation?
Devin.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, there wasn't much I could say. I just apologized a whole bunch, and I was like crying whenever I opened the door. So it was a real good look.
Yeah.
All right, because you're all emotional and everything. And did they look terrified when you ripped the door open?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm kind of a bigger guy.
I was going to say,
were they like as young as you were?
They were a little bit older.
Either way, yeah, I'm sure they were terrified.
Yeah. Good move, man. Did you ever tell that to your girlfriend?
Yes, I did.
And what did she?
It did turn out she was sleeping with him, though.
Wait, she was sleeping with him?
Yeah.
Oh, good times.
Who is this guy?
Is that how you found out, or did it take longer for you to find out?
No, it took a little longer.
All right. Damn, man.
That's about age appropriate.
It is. I mean, that's about the age that stuff's going to go on.
I had, not that it was really mistaken. It was just me not paying attention, but had a 1-bedroom apartment in lovely Glen Burnie, Maryland. Just moved to the area. And now my future mother-in-law is going to come down. She's going to spend the weekend and everything else. My fiance at the time, we had a pull-out sofa. So, hey, look, you know what? Ellen could have the bedroom, and we're going to sleep on the sofa.
Sure.
So we're cozied in, not a bad situation, kind of like camping. We're like, you know what, man, this is not bad. We can actually have, for a 1-bedroom apartment, this is somewhat accommodating.
Sure.
We can have friends come over, like the bed's not that, I never slept on the pull-out before. I'm like, this is actually all right. End up falling asleep, 2 o'clock in the morning. I got to get up. I got to go pee. I think I was just in my boxers. Go to the bathroom, leave the bathroom, go right into the bedroom as I normally do, get into bed, and shoot the arm between the breasts as I normally do, and snuggled in.
Yeah, get in there.
To my future mother-in-law, and my hand between her breasts. And guess who doesn't sleep with a shirt on?
Yay!
Really?
My future mother-in-law.
Yeah, trying to relax.
Was it a good experience or bad?
All I heard was, Miles, is that you? And I was like, oh, God. Oh, God. And I'm like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. Ellen, oh, my God. So I pop up real quick. My wife doesn't hear this. Right. She doesn't know that this has gone on. She's sound asleep, all right? So this is startling. And keep in mind, this is not a big place.
Yeah.
So she did not wake up. And I'm laying there. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. And my heart is just palpitating. Like, I cannot believe that I just did this. And
it's the hand between the boobs that really sets it over the top.
It took about an hour and 15 more minutes for me to go back to sleep because I kept trying to hear, like, is she asleep in there? And I kept like, no, she's not asleep either. We're just kind of laying here, like, trying to process what happened.
Act like it didn't happen.
Exactly.
I don't know if I would address that. Just let it be.
I say, did it ever come up?
I'm sure that they talked about it. I don't remember.
You did not bring it up. And no one brought it up to you.
I don't remember having that conversation.
Oh, you remember?
But I definitely later on, like, I did this.
Right.
This has happened to me. Person, place, or thing. Who mistook what for what? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Danny. Welcome to the men's room.
Danny.
Hello, Danny.
Danny.
Wait for it. Put it back on hold and check later.
Yeah.
Hello, Brian. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So, my little sister, she's 3 years younger than me, she graduated from high school. So I flew her and her best friend down to San Bernardino, where I lived, and we went to Disneyland the next day. So I don't know if you guys have been in the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, but at the end of the ride, there's a long, dark tunnel. I mean, black. You can't see anything in this tunnel. And when we went in, my little sister was right in front of me. So once we got in the dark, I grabbed her and I picked her up off the ground and and my little sister was smarter than that. She was 2 people up ahead of me. And it was some lady I didn't even know.
Spooky.
It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Were they pissed or did they get it?
She was pissed at first, but yeah, by the way, when you heard about sister laughing and two people up, she understood it.
Man, that's a mortifying moment.
It was fun, but
my bad.
My bad. I'm really, really sorry.
Person, place, or thing who mistook what for what? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Austin. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola. So about a year ago, I was with this fine lady, and I was over at her house back in Salem, Oregon, which I'm sure you guys remember a bit of that story. And so I was spending the night, and she said, hey, I'm going to go and make something in the kitchen. I'll be back. I said, okay, no problem. So after a little while, I was like, what's taking her so long? So I came out, and I saw her dressed promiscuous in the kitchen, and to skip all of the bits, I ended up sleeping with her. About 30 minutes later, come to find out, my girlfriend went to the grocery store to pick up some stuff, and this girl was her twin sister.
Oh, my God, dude. Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Now, did they set you up, or was twin sister just swooping in there to get some?
I believe the twin sister knew I was there and was trying to sleep with me. My girlfriend broke up with me. 3 days later, I ended up dating the twin sister.
For real? How long did you guys date?
We dated for about 3 months.
And did you ever have to bump into your ex during the 3 months?
Well, they lived together, so yes.
Jesus, man.
That is a weird scenario to be in.
Was there any bitterness or weirdness, or was the original twin just kind of like, all right, whatever, man, do your thing?
She was glaring at me quite a lot, but during, family gatherings, because I came over for, barbecues and stuff, she was always really nice, very sweet, and acted like nothing ever happened.
Right. Well, you probably don't bring it up when the family's over.
I mean,
switching siblings is, I don't know.
It's crazy, but I mean, the one twin just set you up like, all right, I'm going to dress like this. She knows why you're there. Did you even know she had a twin sister before then?
No, not at all. This is my first time coming over to the house.
Okay, so after you have sex, with the twin sister, does initial girlfriend bust you, or had you gone back to the room and then she walks in?
Oh, we finished. We were cuddling together before she came in.
Oh, God. Oh, wow.
Well, I would think that if anybody could answer this question and have too many experiences that just are like, you understand the scenario, it's a twin. I mean, if you're identical in life.
Yeah.
As far as just, one person thinking you're somebody else. Or
I think, look, you can understand that confusion, but if I'm a twin, I don't assume that my twin is going to hook up with my girlfriend.
Correct.
When I run out to the grocery store. I understand why they would be attracted to that. Right. If you find me attractive, I'm sure you find them attractive, right? But I'd be like, hey, bro, can you do me one favor and not slip in there when I'm not home? That's all.
I set of twins, Mark and Mike Bowers. Grew up with them in Cheat Lake. Identical twins.
Yeah.
So Mark was down at the lake. He had his bike. So we're like, you know what? It was just me and him by the time everybody cleared out. Let's go ride around. So we rode across the bridge, came all the way. We probably rode together for, 3 or 4 hours. We come home. First thing we do is we stop off at his house because it was kind of on the way to my place. So he gets off first. And his mom's in the front yard, and she's like, Mike, where have you been? Well, I thought that was Mark.
Oh, right.
We never, when you're a kid, you're just like, hey, let's go here.
But you never said his name.
No. And I'm like, I just started pedaling home like, oh, my God. Like, man, damn. Like, I had no idea.
So who was cooler to hang out with? Because now you spent 4 hours together.
They were both great guys. They were my age. Well, they were 1 year older than me, but there was nothing discernible about them at all. I mean, same haircut, same clothes, same everything. They had the same bikes. Like twins, when you're younger, your parents, at least theirs, just bought 2 of them.
At what age do parents stop doing that to twins? I get it when your kids
same jacket,
right.
same everything.
When your kid's like 2 years old, I get it, man.
Maybe a different color jacket.
But at some point, I feel like by the time they have to start, say, first grade, where people have to identify them, including teachers, other students by name, just get them different clothes, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not everywhere is buy one, get the other one free. So if you buy 2 shirts, they could be 2 different colors even.
But after that moment, and I still hung out with both of them, I still was uncertain on who was who as far as the name goes. Because they were just
everything about them, same hobbies. They played on the same sports teams. They did all these things. So it was really tough. Even through high school, they grew the same height. They looked identical. Well, they're identical twins.
It's right there in the name.
Yeah, it really is. Person, place, or thing who mistook what for what? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Dane. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, guys.
Hola.
So mine isn't actually about myself. It's about my father, which is even funnier.
It always is when it's somebody else.
So my dad was, a frisky guy. And my mother sold Mary Kay Cosmetics. And one day she went out, she got her hair cut, and she was outside of our house meeting somebody that might be interested in buying. Well, my dad did not recognize my mother because she just got a haircut. And so he decided that, oh, look at these two lovely ladies outside talking. And so he decides to go start putting his moves on in front of these two lovely ladies.
Oh, hang on.
Exactly.
Once again, bedroom colors, here are the 7 words you can't say on the radio.
What a day.
Sucker, mother, and please keep those words in mind when calling. Now, back to the program.
All right, Dane, less brown words.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad on that one. I thought that one was okay.
No, definitely
no.
But you probably quoted your father very accurately, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, he was very, very surprised because he goes outside, like on the deck, and decided that he was going to be frisky. And he was very surprised when he realized that one of the women that he was trying to flirt with was his wife, a.k.a. my mother.
Now, did he try to play it off like, oh, I'm just joking, baby, blah, blah, blah?
Nice haircut.
Or was it that obvious?
Oh, it was so obvious that he didn't even try to play it off.
Did they stay married?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still married.
Right.
They actually just had their 50th anniversary this last year.
Okay.
And you know what? She's still mad about it. Mm-hmm.
It's still a story that comes up.
Oh, of course. Mm-hmm. I bet you he doesn't bring it up.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah. I was going to say, I know the story comes up, but, he's not the one broaching that topic. That's a bad
Person,
look.
place, or thing who mistook what for what? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Sessa. Welcome to the men's room.
Hi, guys.
Hola.
So, this is about my best friend. It sounds like, is there an echo? You're on my Bluetooth.
No, you're good.
Okay, good. So, we used to go get sushi at a local place in Linwood, often. And I pull up, and I'm waiting for her. She pulls up, and she runs up to 2 cars over. There's 2 cars next to me. And she just lifts up her shirt and presses her boobs against the car. And there was a lady in the car, and she thought it was my car. The best part about it was the car looked nothing like my car. I drove a 2003 white Expedition, so it was a big SUV, and the car next to me was a beige color, and it was a tiny SUV. And she just pressed her boobs against this poor lady's window.
How long did she keep her boobs there? Did she pull her boobs away first and then the window rolls down, or what?
It was a couple seconds that she pushed her boobs there, and then she looked and saw that it wasn't me, and immediately, pulled her shirt down and, walked away. She was, awkwardly, hysterically laughing. But she was like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. And the lady was really cool about it. She was, laughing her butt off, too. And it was just very embarrassing for her, and I was dying.
Does your girlfriend have nice breasts?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
How come these things don't happen to us?
Yeah, right? That's never happened
Doesn't happen to me.
Not
I
once.
guess the guy who has the small penis doesn't go pulling his pants down.
Right.
So I figure the same would be true there.
I don't think I've ever done anything like that. I know my buddy Tony, he flashed the wrong, thought his girlfriend was coming up the stairs. Tony was Tony. Tony's going to do his thing. He was just walking out of the bathroom, but he could hear someone walking up the stairs, thought it was his girlfriend. It was not his girlfriend, who's hanging out on the sofa with me because we're all watching a movie. My other buddy's girlfriend was going to go up and go to the bathroom. She was just going up the stairs to do it. And I remember Tony, you could see up the stairs, like maybe 6 stairs. You could see up the stairs directly at the top. And he rips open the door and just has his pants down at his ankles and just kind of jumps up and down twice. I think he wanted to go 3 times. And just the look on his face. So it's like he's jumping to be funny. And then the jumping just like slows down. And we all knew each other very well. But this girl, Martha, was her name, believe it or not. But just the look on her face. And you could just see Tony kind of crumble. Door closed, and then after the door, I don't know why this is so stupid to me. After the door closes, and now he's obviously pulling up his pants here. I'm really sorry, Martha. We're just like, just let it go, man.
It's fine
just
now.
let it go.
Person, place, or thing. Who mistook what for what? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Danny. Welcome to the
Hi
bedroom.
there.
Hola.
Hola. Okay, so the year was 1977. I was 9 years old. You can do the math on that.
You're
later.
56. Mm-hmm.
I was in Moscow, Russia for my 9th birthday.
Why, just real quick, why were you in Moscow, Russia for your birthday?
I grew up in Nova, and my mom, that was her job. She organized wholesale charter tours to the Soviet Union at the time.
Okay.
And she had extra space on one of her charters and decided to bring me for my 9th birthday. Yay. And so we were at this really fancy hotel in Moscow. They were having this huge, like, off-the-hook banquet for us. And I was really excited because all the food was disgusting to me as a 9-year-old. And they put out this big bowl of blackberries on the table. And I just started grabbing spoonfuls of it and dumping it on my plate. And I was like, well, why aren't the blackberries staying together? And so I didn't care. I was so hungry. I picked up a spoonful of this and shoved it in my mouth and spat it out everywhere because it was beluga caviar.
Oh, that was a cheap mouthful.
that was a cheap mouthful.
God. Have you tried caviar since?
I don't think I've ever had beluga caviar.
Cannot stand it. I don't like fish roe in anything. I don't know what it is.
I do.
Just dislike it.
I mean, look, you can put it on top of something like sushi, and it's like that one piece of lettuce on a sandwich. I don't like lettuce. I could fight through it. It's on sandwich, right? Because the taste gets reduced. But like that big fat stuff you're talking about, man, it is so gross. And, you know, when you're a kid, all you hear is caviar. So everyone is rich eats caviar. So the younger you are, the first time you have the chance to do it, you're like, I absolutely want to try caviar. It must be delicious because rich people rave about it. And I remember the first time I tried it, I was with my brother, and we just looked at each other. And he eats everything and anything. We just looked at each other like, is this a joke? Like, is this food? Mm-hmm. But the woman we were with, she's like, no, darling, this is caviar. We're like, being rich can't buy taste, I guess, man. Whatever.
I don't know. I mean, I've had caviar like once or twice. I don't know. It just tastes really salty.
It's just because that's all it is, man. It's weird to me. I'm sure there are some people that legitimately like it, but you know, if I'm a billionaire, like I'm sure Bezos enjoys caviar, blah, 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 but enjoys in quotation marks. I'm like, I believe you can suck it down in front of the people you're trying to impress to let them know that you are also rich, or that this super yacht is, you know, but a mere blip on my financial radar. But like, do you honestly like this? Hey, Bezos, if I made you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or we got you this bowl of caviar, would you, honest to God, prefer, and get none of your friends are here, okay? So you're not putting on airs and all that bull ass, but you're telling me you can turn down peanut butter and jelly and you're a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch versus a bowl of caviar.
Well, and there's rules with it too. Like you can't grab a spoon like she did. It has to be like a bone spoon or like a porcelain thing. Like there's a special spoon that you have to use, otherwise it taints the flavor.
No. That tainted flavor.
And what is the
caviar? You see.
And what is the difference between caviar and what they put on sushi? Don't they put caviar on sushi?
It's not
caviar.
It's roe.
That's fish roe. I don't know what the difference is, but there's some type of difference.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's fish eggs to me.
Yeah. It is, but is caviar something specific? Like a specific fish? Sturgeon.
It's sturgeon.
Yes. It's sturgeon. I got news for you. You taste awful as a baby. Just throwing it out there.
Daily Mix Morning Show is on the way. We're going to send spin. We've got the 10 greatest duets in rock history coming up, and your emails on the way next from the men's room at KISW.com.
Are you a fan of mystery and adventure? Introducing June's Journey, the captivating free-to-play mobile game that will ignite your inner detective. Play as June Parker in a thrilling murder mystery adventure as you search for hidden objects to uncover the truth behind her sister's death. Step into the glamorous world of the Roaring '20s with stunningly illustrated scenes and over 1,000 mysteries to unravel. With new chapters added weekly, you'll never run out of clues to chase and suspects to interrogate. Plus, you can build your own island escape with beautiful gardens and buildings and even join a detective club to collaborate with other players. Experience the thrill of being a detective and unravel the mystery in June's Journey. Download June's Journey now on your Android or iOS device or play on PC through Facebook Games.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
3 reasons why your kiddo will love Kate Farms Kids Nutrition Shakes. For starters, each nutrient-dense kids shake is made with love for your child's growth and development. Each carton contains 8 grams of plant-based protein plus 27 vitamins and minerals. Secondly, with 3 tasty flavors to choose from in strawberry, chocolate, or vanilla, even the pickiest eaters approve. Lastly, each Kate Farms Kids Shake comes ready to drink with a resealable twist-off cap, great for the car or their lunchbox. Give your kids the quality nutrition they deserve. Get 25% off your first purchase with code AUDIO. Exclusions may apply. See katefarms.com for details.
Are you a fan of mystery and adventure? Introducing June's Journey, the captivating free-to-play mobile game that will ignite your inner detective. Play as June Parker in a thrilling murder mystery adventure as you search for hidden objects to uncover the truth behind her sister's death. Step into the glamorous world of the Roaring '20s with stunningly illustrated scenes and over 1,000 mysteries to unravel. With new chapters added weekly, you'll never run out of clues to chase and suspects to interrogate. Plus, you can build your own island escape with beautiful gardens and buildings and even join a detective club to collaborate with other players. Experience the thrill of being a detective and unravel the mystery in June's Journey. Download June's Journey now on your Android or iOS device or play on PC through Facebook Games.
Start your summer road trip at Midas and get up to $30 off your next repair service. Plus, get a free closer look vehicle check to make sure you're road trip ready. So if you need brake service, and alignment check, or tune-up, hit up Midas for up to $30 off. For more details, request your appointment at Midas.com.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
Yep, just got my ecobee smart home when nosy Ned next door came over with questions about it. ecobee? What's that? You should get the system I've got, he said. I told him ecobee is really smart and listed off a few great ecobee features. He went from smug to envious real quick. Turns out ecobee is a lot smarter than his better-known smart home. So I consoled him and said, Ned, get yourself a smarter home. Ned's over a lot now. Visit ecobee.com today.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Tara Daly, Steve Mix from the Daily Mix Morning Show on the way. We will sit and spin today. We got the 10 greatest duets in rock history. But first time for a few emails from the Men's Room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
A Couple from today. This one says mistaken ethnicity. Bacholos, hope you dinosaurs are well. Used to be a security guard at Little Creek Casino. Worked there for almost 8 years. I'm Filipino, and because I had an olive complexion, on more than one occasion, I was often mistaken as native. There was one time I was on duty patrolling the parking, and a customer, not having a good day, was coming into the garage, heading to this vehicle. He saw me going the opposite direction, and he goes into a tirade about how the tribe was taking his money. I was a little annoyed and said, "Sir, I'm half Filipino." He just stared and walked away. That from Lydia. But just a while ago, my mom was in an Asian market, and she got what she thought were regular duck eggs. Brought them home, hard-boiled them, peeled the first one, and we were horrified to see a almost fully formed baby duck. Turns out she got balutes, which is the fertilized duck embryo. We could not bring ourselves to eat them, but the dog sure did enjoy them.
Oh, good.
That from Iris, the truck driver, who says rock on. As we get into the birthday request, what up, bitches? In case my ex didn't put in my birthday request, please call me a bitch in every way possible. And if she did, I just want to let her know I still love you, bitch. Cheers, that from Uncle Tots.
Bitch.
Bitch.
You a bitch.
Oh, another one. Since no one from my family email you guys, blah, blah, blah. I'd like to have one for my birthday. How about Captain Crunch retelling the tale how he used Lefty, the hamburger helper mascot, to move product after the SS Guppy was swarmed by ATF agents? Maybe West Virginia Miles explaining what is an alternative binder besides mayo or mustard that could be used for barbecue in a pinch. And Coach Ted pumping me up about the upcoming Lacey barbecue competition. And a shout out to another brother of mine, Chansey. Thanks, guys. That from Sal Rosenberg.
Ooh, well, ahoy there. You know, most people don't know this, but Lefty was originally a proctologist. That's why he's always wearing the glove. But I realized there was more money in drug running, and oh boy, when the ATF raided the SS Guppy, a lot of mascots started dumping drugs overboard, which was great for Charlie the Tuna. He got real high that day, but Lefty wasn't having it. He kept screaming, "Don't waste product. Product is money, bitches." You see, he was both an addict and a dealer. Anyway, Lefty dove into the ocean, and after a series of marine mishaps, including making a life raft out of discarded Tide bottles, he met us on the beaches of Ecuador with at least 3 kilos of the good stuff.
God.
That dear God is right, Mike. Crunch berries.
All right, Sal Rosenberg, my Goyam buddy. If you need binder to pinch, you already know how to make it with one hand.
Oh.
Wow. Speaking of Lefty.
All right, you got this barbecue competition coming up, and I've had some of your barbecue. Delicious. Saw what you did over the weekend. My concern is your helper. I know who it is. I hope he can put in the hard work, but you got to put him to bed early Friday night to get him up bright and early Saturday, and he doesn't wake up early. It's not his thing. But I've had your barbecue. You should be good to go.
Hey, bitches, I want to wish my mom a very happy birthday. She's been the best guidance and so patient person a guy has ever had. As I've fought through the lowest of lows and climbed my way out, she never gave up. One hell of a woman and a true inspiration. So how about the dirty Germans telling her how she could be treated tonight, and Coach Ted giving her advice about how to make her 50s the best yet. Thank you guys from our son Ryan in Omak, Washington.
Omak.
50s, huh? It's a weird little decade, because you get there and everybody used to say 50 over the hill. Not anymore. It's not that old. So you know what you need to do? You need to go out and let it loose. You know what I'm saying? Wear something a little skimpier. Maybe hit on a younger fella. Just go out there and dominate the 50s. Be the cougar you want to be.
Oh.
Yeah, she wants to know how she should be treated for her birthday tonight. Quite simple. Tonight, we want to treat you like the whore that you want to be. I'm going to use your nipples like an Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah, and I will use my fingers in other places.
But that's the same time.
That's the same time. Yeah, exactly.
Do you know the pack and play? It's different in Deutschland.
Yeah.
All right, guys, here you go.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ja, the Dirty Germans, brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Yes, friends, it's time once again for sit and spin. Let's gather around the old radio and listen to some swellerific new music.
Oh, look who it is. Tara Daly, C-Migs, what's happening?
Greetings, gentlemen.
Yes. What's new and exciting?
You know what? We got to hang out with Thrill on Friday for our live broadcast, the very first live broadcast of the Daily Migs Show. And someone texted in this morning and said, who got the drunkest? And I said, Thrill.
That is very possible. My wife very specifically said, hey, let's not get drunk. Or it's like 9:15, 9:30 in the morning, whatever.
Right.
I'm like, cool. So I roll in. Castle sees me, gets me a shot. And I'm like, well, I'm going to get a beer. But then our sales guy, Nick, kept refilling my beer cup. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to not drink it. Then a few more shots came my way. And typically I'm a Jack guy. And then one J-Mo slipped in, which gives me a much different experience. But at that point, I'm like, look, man, the boat is not anchored. You know what I mean? I'm adrift.
We've left the harbor.
There's nothing I can do about it. So she was like, F it. So my wife gets a Bloody Mary. But
That's a Bloody Migsy that night?
Was it a Bloody Migsy?
Yeah, we renamed it.
Okay, here's the thing about your Bloody Migsy. So normally they salt the rim.
They sugared the rim.
They sugared the rim.
Oh, no way.
Which really, it turns out, not so bad.
Was it on purpose or on accident?
It was an accident. My wife goes, man, she put sugar on the rim instead of salt. So let's change glasses. She goes, it's actually pretty good. So I tried it. It does not sound good. It was shockingly kind of nice.
It's like the salty sweet thing.
It sort of is. It really was.
But it threw you off at first, because at first I took a sip. I'm like, what? Why is this so sweet?
Did you guys, was the broadcast smooth? All the technical stuff work?
Yeah, I think we only had one S-bomb.
All right, okay, but everything worked. Yeah, we want you to know that we worked years to get it to the point where nothing would go wrong.
I mean, we sounded like robots from time to time. It was like a remix, an EDM remix from time to time, but it was good enough.
Could you take a phone call?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We didn't even try to take a phone call.
All right, this is where we go wrong.
Because of you guys.
Yes, exactly.
Seriously, man.
Let's not try and take phone calls.
It'll work this time.
It'll work.
Yeah. You guys are going to Pearl Jam tonight.
We are.
So tomorrow's going to be just absolute sludge.
We might be having a sleepover together in the green room. We haven't decided yet.
Didn't you have one a couple weeks ago?
After the Stones, I slept in the green room.
Yeah. Well, you might as well just put some sheets in there. And,
my Lord.
Have a little emergency.
Why don't we have just put bunk beds in there?
Yes!
And then at this point...
So it was just like, you should stay at Ted's. I'm like, well, Ted's no longer in downtown Seattle. Like, yeah, but I bet his couch is better than the one at work. I'm like, I don't know. It might be debatable. I think the couch at work is pretty nice.
Oh, man. I got 2 bedrooms now.
Oh, look out. Yeah. Karen, we're going to Ted's
we got
tonight.
our own space. We're going to put bunk beds in Ted's spare bedroom.
Do you remember that dirty-ass couch that was in Taz's studio in the old building?
Don't turn the black light
I mean,
on.
you don't even want to know. I don't even want to know if that couch could talk. I don't even know.
It wouldn't. It plead the fifth. I saw nothing.
That couch would not talk. It would gag.
Yeah. 3-legged Fletch dog throwing up on it. People having sex.
That thing. You can only flip the cushion so many times before they're completely coated.
I never met a couch that had syphilis before, but there it was.
Right? So today we're going to talk about duets. It seems like that was a thing back in the day, not so much as much anymore. I'm trying to think of the last.
You mean in the rock world?
Yeah, as far as country, they do it.
Sure.
Rap,
as long as you use Post Malone, very important.
Whatever the deal is, but maybe one with Lizzie Hale.
Lizzie Hale did one with Corey Taylor a couple of years ago. They did a cover together.
Right, yep. But back in the day, it seemed like it was always like Stevie Nicks with somebody else. Or whoever it was, you got together and you did duets. Motown was famous for that with Marvin Gaye and Tammy Montgomery or Terrell or any of those guys. But
Motown hung their hat on that for sure.
But they're saying that these are the greatest duets in rock and roll history. And this comes from...
Does anyone come to mind when you hear that? The only one I suggested... Not because I like the song, I just thought it'd be there. Mike said it's not on the list. Was Lita Ford and Ozzy.
That's the one I was just thinking.
Okay, right? Because when you think rock and you think duet, at the time that was massive. Mike's like, not on the list. I'm like, oh, geez.
Which makes this list invalid.
I think it's like Rum DMC. Does that count?
It should.
It should.
All right. Okay. We're going to find out, as these are the 10 greatest duets in rock history.
Number 10.
Just the two of us. Oh, is this rock? I mean, it's a great duet. I don't think rock when I hear this.
Or are we just kind of bending the rules like we do at Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
We must be. Yeah. I mean, look, you're going to get some ass if you play the song at the right time.
Bill Withers, he's in West Virginia. He never got the same question that I always get. Don't you have an accent? No one else Bill Withers about that.
I don't know. I haven't been hanging with Bill where anyone asked him.
Yeah, exactly. So that's, is that Grover Washington Jr.?
Correct.
With Bill? Okay, that's it.
Who ever heard anything about Grover Washington Sr.? I always heard Grover Washington Jr. I'm like, who's his dad that we need the junior?
That's just a very presidential name, too, by the way. Grover Washington.
You're a Muppet or a president.
Yeah. These are the 10 greatest duets in rock history.
Number 9. The boys of the
Anyone know this song?
I mean, it's got to either be Dropkick Murphys or no. Is it the Pogues?
The Pogues.
It's the Pogues.
All right, it's the original band.
Fairy
Shane
Tale of New York with Christy McCall from 1987.
Okay.
I've never seen the
Right at
Pogues.
the end?
Yeah.
But I've seen Shane McGowan himself, and he sits on stage. This was years ago, and he just puts 2 fingers to his mouth, and somebody walks him out a lit cigarette.
Damn.
The entire show, and he was drinking a pint of vodka.
I said, did he beat anyone up? I mean,
it was a great show, but I've heard it depends on which night you see him.
Sure.
I feel like that's like Dennis Leary's favorite band. It just gives you that vibe,
makes
right?
sense. Yeah.
Sounds like the intro music to a 7:30 PBS kids show.
Which is funny. If you go to a Pogues concert, that's a rough and tumble crowd.
Yeah.
10 greatest duets in rock history.
Number 8. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
So this is where I have beef. Steve has heard me talk about my beef.
What is your beef?
This is not a duet because they're a group.
Right, it's like Hall & Oates.
Yeah,
That's not
right,
a duet.
It's not
That's
I don't
not a
consider
duet.
this a duet.
No.
I would agree with
Because
that.
every song they do is a duet.
Yeah. It's called
They're a band.
Simon and Garfunkel. So you'd expect them to frickin' sing, right? Yeah, this is not a duet.
You know, Ted's more of a Garfunkel guy.
I am.
He
Totally
is very much all Garfunkel. He had a Team Garfunkel shirt. You can wear the wig.
Longins and Messina. Not a duet. 10 greatest duets in rock history.
Number 7. But I'm going hungry.
At least now we have a rock song.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, all right. We can all agree on this.
Here, okay, Taryn and I had an argument about this one.
All right.
Do you feel that Eddie Vedder is in Temple of the Dog? Like a band member of Temple of the Dog?
I don't. Now look, let me qualify this.
Shocking.
When you bring up Temple the Dog, he is not the singer that comes to mind. It comes to mind on this song, but not for the band. But I do recognize that look, it's like the keyboard player in Bon Jovi. Like, bro, we know you're there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But nobody's here for you. And it's nothing against Eddie Vedder, but with Temple the Dog, it was about Cornell. Like, I'm sorry.
And supporting what you guys are saying when the Temple of the Dog reunion happened,
Who
he
didn't
did not show up.
Right, the rest of the band were there.
Maybe because they heard Meg's trashing him.
Yeah.
I just don't think Eddie Vedder is in Temple of the Dog. He's
Okay,
just-
well, that's enough for me to feel bad. Like, guys, I love the show, but Meg's gave me a complex. People don't think I'm part of the frickin'
Why
band.
don't you tell him tonight?
I already made my sign.
You're a fraud, Vedder.
You're not. Your sign says you're not.
You're
somebody.
not in Temple of the Dog.
10 greatest duets in rock and roll history.
Number 6.
Put your little hand in mine. There ain't no hill or mountain we can't climb.
Teeny tiny hand girl. Well, I'll tell you what, that makes every man feel better. The dates are no, doesn't it?
Take a picture of that. It looks bigger.
Look at that. I look huge.
Yeah, you want a girl with small hands if she's going to hold your junk.
You know, with the small
It
hand-
makes your junk look bigger.
Yeah.
Come on, Mike.
Totally.
Your big-handed wife.
Yeah.
Does Cher have small hands?
I'm in.
Just got hotter.
Sad but true. What men think, Jared.
Cher seems like she'd have long fingers.
Yes. You think so?
Yeah.
Long but gentle.
I don't think gentle, man. I think she's gripping that bitch tight.
You think like a kung fu grip?
Yeah, man. Yeah, Cher's like the old G.I. Joe doll.
With her hand on there, it looks like an Oreo cookie. You know anything about Cher?
I'm not ever having an Oreo cookie again.
Number 5.
Oh, okay.
That is Sandy Denny with Led Zeppelin for the Battle of Evermore.
Okay. Well, this makes sense why the Love Mongers. I never knew
That
this was
version's so great.
So good.
I didn't know this was a duet. I mean, I just assumed it was Zeppelin.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is a duet. We've always known the song. I knew that chick was singing. Some reason, it's kind of like back to your boy Eddie not being in Temple of the Dog.
He's not.
I know you're there, lady, but I just never even thought to learn your name.
It's like the total eclipse of a heart guy.
Right. Like, you're there too, right?
He's just this dude that just goes, turn around.
These are your small hands. These are the 10 greatest duets in rock history.
Number 4.
Had to be on the list.
great
Absolutely
song.
iconic.
This checks all the boxes.
For
On
sure.
what it
Yeah.
should be. Rock, duets, all that stuff. Greatest duets in rock history on Fitness Day.
Small hands, too.
Number 3.
Stevie Nicks just celebrated her 76th birthday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's a big number.
Do you think that this lends...
Yeah, it was good for the country. I'm a 76 guy.
Ah, okay.
Would you do a duet with someone like Dolly Parton used to do back in the day with whoever it was, Porter Wagner, whatever, or Kenny Rogers? Like, are they, you know what I mean? Like,
What, having sex?
yeah.
I mean, I think Kenny and Dolly were. They really seemed to be like.
I think Stevie Nicks was having a lot of
You got to
sex.
look at the other
That's
person.
true.
You got to feel the emotions, kind of like, Dancing with the Stars. Next thing you know, they're having sex.
That's the only reason I want to go on that show.
That's right. Take greatest duets in rock and roll history.
Number 2.
There we go. Oh, there it is. All right.
You think they were having sex, Miles?
Yeah. CMC and Joe Perry banged all the time. They might have shown up and been like, oh, look, there's a hot chick. I'm like, no, man, that's the lead singer.
Dude looks like a lady.
Yeah.
What a mouth, though.
Plump
These
lips.
are the-
I'll give it a go.
Small hands and plump lips. I don't know, man. They burst through the wall.
10 greatest duets in rock and roll history.
Number 1.
I mean, it's going to the rock thing. Like, it's a fine song. I guess this would be rock at the time, sort of, maybe.
Ish.
Yeah.
Ish.
But it makes you really blows your mind that Lita Ford and Ozzy Osbourne song are not on this list when all these other songs are.
It's just the first one that comes to mind when you say a rock duo. Hey, look, apparently a rock duo is just any duo that's mildly upbeat. So here we
Well,
go.
they had a list of 20, so something didn't make the top 10. Elton John and Kiki D, Don't Go Breaking My Heart.
All right.
Okay. You Got the Look, Prince and Sheena Easton.
Oh, yeah.
U2 BB King, When Love Comes to Town. Bring the Noise, Anthrax. And
Yeah, that's a great
cool.
song. That's a great song.
And Take Me Home Tonight. Eddie Money and the beautiful Ronnie Spector.
I
I didn't even know it was a duet.
didn't either, to be honest with you.
Guys, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Good luck tomorrow morning as you recover from the Pearl Jam show
We'll
tonight.
put Andy's mints in the green room for you.
Lord.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yes. Show of the day is on the way. You're listening to The Men's Room.
Are you a fan of mystery and adventure? Introducing June's Journey, the captivating free-to-play mobile game that will ignite your inner detective. Play as June Parker in a thrilling murder mystery adventure as you search for hidden objects to uncover the truth behind her sister's death. Step into the glamorous world of the Roaring '20s with stunningly illustrated scenes and over 1,000 mysteries to unravel. With new chapters added weekly, you'll never run out of clues to chase and suspects to interrogate. Plus, you can build your own island escape with beautiful gardens and buildings and even join a detective club to collaborate with other players. Experience the thrill of being a detective and unravel the mystery in June's Journey. Download June's Journey now on your Android or iOS device or play on PC through Facebook Games.
Start your summer road trip at Midas and get up to $30 off your next repair service. Plus, get a free closer look vehicle check to make sure you're road trip ready. So if you need a brake service, an alignment check, or tune-up, hit up Midas for up to $30 off. For more details, request your appointment at Midas.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Meet the Bed by Thuma, the perfect platform bed frame. Thoughtfully handcrafted from upcycled wood, the bed is strong, backed by a lifetime warranty, and ships directly to your door. Assembly takes 5 minutes, no tools needed. To get $25 towards the bed, go to Thuma.co. That's THUMA.co to receive $25 off your purchase of the bed. Shop the bed at Thuma.co.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Coming up, we'll drink your toast for the show of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check-in with Mike Hogg and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Thank you, Miles. Glamping is back on the rise again. It's weird as the season changes, all of a sudden glamping comes back around again.
I mean, camping's camping, but yeah, I mean, if you're going to do it in an RV, it's obviously a lot better.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And what is the point for that? Because I've seen people that show up with, like, the little camping trailers that they have out there. Like, does that count as glamping? Like you said,
I think peace of mind when you close your eyes.
Yeah.
Other than being in a tent with food. And all
so
these
like a
things
hard shell around
that
it.
you have, that you brought with you.
You actually feel safe in the tent.
Right. I don't have to worry about any noise outside.
Okay.
I think if you're not in a tent, I don't know, if you just have like a little tow behind trailer, but if you got like water and electricity, you're glamping.
Yeah, if you can plug something in, you're glamping.
Okay. I get you.
Out here in the woods, but let's not miss this final episode of So-and-So.
Would you
Plug in
guys
the phone.
Would you guys go glamping?
I've done it.
Sure.
It's great.
Just wake up in nature from time to time.
I mean, look, man, camping's not that bad, but I don't feel like putting up a tent.
Yeah.
I don't feel like taking it down. So we're just like, look, the bed's already done. You can still enjoy the woods, but when it's time to go to bed, just go in there, and I don't have to do
Right.
money. And I can eat
pull up
all
your
the
tent.
Oreos I want.
Yeah, no
Not
kidding.
worried about bears.
Have you seen the new thing online, Mike? Like
No.
when I first moved out here, like the girl I was dating, we went like kind of hanging out with her family, and I learned how you can make like desserts and stuff. You could make omelets in a bag. But now all these people have been going camping for years. You just put like the puff, like a crescent roll.
Yeah.
And you put it in the fire and that little clothes thing. Now people are like, look what I've discovered. It's like, God damn it.
Well, you didn't discover
People have been doing that for years.
Right. Come on, gang. A flight attendant says that the plain habit of putting a bottle in the overhead compartment is an evil one.
I don't personally know anyone that puts bottles
No,
in the overhead.
And it was a clickbait headline. It's it's like a flight attendant says that this plain habit is evil and nobody should do it. I'm like, is it when you take a carry-on bag and a backpack and you put both in the overhead bin?
I hate that. It just takes up space. Why? Just put the backpack on the front seat.
It is. I have been hard-pressed to get on a flight that they didn't make that announcement of. This is a very full flight. We need
Every
volunteers
flight.
to check your bag for free. Help us out here. We're limited on overhead bin space. And then I'll check my bag and I'll get in there and I see people and they'll put their suitcase up top and then they put their backpack up there. Like, guys.
I'm with you. If I'm doing a carry-on in a backpack, the backpack goes underneath the seat in front of me.
And that's the
just
rule.
like,
That's generally your headphones, any of the stuff you might want during the flight, your book.
Right.
But, it could also be up to the airline to say, look, you're the one, you oversaw the flights, not us. That's why.
Correct.
You're always looking for volunteers. Fair enough. But you should also tell people if you have your carry-on, throw it up top. If you have a backpack, just put it, like if you got two pieces,
Right.
just put one under the seat in front.
And they do, but these jamokes get on there and they still just throw it up top. Like, gang, we're already limited on space up here. And guess what? They can't put their suitcase underneath the seat in front of them.
Right.
You can with that big old backpack.
Damn right.
Jackass. Sorry, I have very passionate feelings about this. A new study says bragging about how busy you are makes people think that you're stupid.
I guess it depends what you're busy with.
Yeah.
If somebody says they're busy at work, I don't think they're dumb.
Yeah.
You're overworked.
Exactly.
I mean, it could be like, you know some of those people that are always like flustered.
Sure.
And like they're like super busy, but it's like,
You're not getting anything done, but I can tell you're stressed about what you have to do.
The exasperated person.
Right, we worked with people like that. Always walking really fast or always behind, but like I never physically saw them doing the work, but I'd hear them bitching about what they have to do, and you're like, yeah, that does suck, but you've been telling me this for 15 minutes. You could have 15 minutes less to do if you just did it.
Exactly.
I have one of these people in my life now that I see on a regular basis. I'm not going to say where or whatever, but I mean, anytime it's like, hi. Hey, how you doing? I'm okay.
Oh, God.
You okay?
There we go.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just like, I'm not going to ask any more questions.
Right. No, do not.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
clearly throwing a line into the water.
Saying hello.
Crime, honey.
Just saying hi.
Just saying hi.
But you know what? That's one of those unspoken rules of society. And as far as the etiquette goes, that people need to start following. In fact, there's an entire list.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
10 unspoken rules of etiquette that society judges you for breaking. How about elevator etiquette? Like making sure people get out before you get in. Or The time I was coming back up to the studio with a couple of co-workers. One co-worker commenced farting quite audibly the moment the doors closed and didn't stop until the floor light showed the 6th floor.
I'm proud of that.
Not so terrible, right? Wrong. We work on the 14th floor.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. You told me about that. You walked in so proud of that one, man.
Well, because I didn't think it would go that. The elevator doors closed, and I just looked at him, and he knew the look on my face, and he goes, "Don't." And as he's saying that, I let it out. And we could not believe it. I'm like, we have gone up 6 floors, and this thing is still going. Yeah, basically, man.
Wait for it. 9, 8, 7, 6.
That's about what it was like. I'm just saying, it won't stop, man.
Oh, God. So these are unspoken rules of etiquette that society judges you for breaking. Bottoming out on the list is basically the phone etiquette that goes on in company, which has come along here in the last 10, 15 years of people having to actually create that kind of etiquette.
Well, we didn't know, and then everyone has a phone. It's become ubiquitous everywhere, so you go like, okay, wait, let's design some rules.
Right.
If we're talking to each other, can you please put your phone down?
And at the end of the day, that's what etiquette is. It's not anything that's that's scribed in stone over here.
Right.
Just, we've decided
general principles that we'll agree to.
Right. How many times have people said that, if you sit down at a table and then you put your phone out on the table, that's rude. That's basically telling everybody there, like, as soon as this lights up, it is now more important than what's going on here. Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes I take it out and just put it on the tables. I don't want to have it in my pocket.
I feel you.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, the phones have just gotten big, and sometimes when I'm eating dinner, and I think if I'm eating dinner, I generally have it face down.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But I will still.
I think
probably
that's
take
one
it
of
out
the.
my
If it's
pocket.
face down, you're saying like, I don't want it in my pocket, but even if I see it light up, I'm not going to flip it over.
Correct.
That is why it is face down.
Let it
if
be
it
what
is
it
face up, yeah, I'm waiting on something much more interesting.
I'm on a date, and I don't want to see all the other chicks texting.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
I will say I was that guy though on the East Coast. Every oyster, lobster.
Were you taking pictures
Yeah,
of it all?
gotta get a picture.
Oh, yeah. I do like that one, though. I've gotten into that more and more myself. I'm starting to just get basic with that. Every time I cook something, it's like, gotta take a picture. Hang on.
Yeah, especially cooking, right? Like sometimes I'm like, I don't need to take a picture of this. Just calm down.
My cousin, he visited here probably 10, 15 years ago, but he brought a buddy of his with him, right? Big brother.
Yeah.
One thing you did not know about this guy, but man, he told us like this. He beat the living hell out of it. We took him somewhere on the waterfront. I don't remember. And he ordered some kind of salad and then whatever his regular meal is going to be. But the salad comes out, man. His phone rips out, takes like 4 different pictures. I'm like, are you one of these guys, man? He's like, man, I'll let you take pictures of my food. I said, dude, it's an effing salad. And he looks at me and goes, it's a salad in Seattle. Okay.
Well, all right.
All his buddies live in D.C. I said, okay, man, that's cool then.
Unspoken rules of etiquette. The society judges you for breaking public displays of affection. Honestly,
Again, I think it depends on how long. If you
Right.
kiss your girlfriend, nobody cares. If you're making out with your girlfriend, like
Correct.
somewhere where it's like probably not great.
There's different levels. Because like you said, man, you'll be at the bar, guy rolls in, or the chick rolls in, they see their significant other, quick kiss, quick hug.
Boom.
Sometimes you can tell there's something they need to discuss. Not anything pressing, but clearly you're finishing a text message you had.
Right.
And a whisper for a second. Now, when you're riding his lap and they're bouncing up and down, and you can see the other guy's tongue in her cheek, like, bro,
You guys are,
come on, man.
you're hanging out with your friends at home or whatever, and they're sitting on the couch and they're just entwined with each other, hand through the hair, and they're making out the entire time. It's like, guys, I'm trying to watch the game. If you want to go do that, go find another spot to go do
Here's
that.
a pro tip, man. Sit in the corner of the couch, let her sit on your hand. All right. And then do whatever you want because
There
we
you
don't
go.
know what you're doing. I don't care if you're doing it. I just don't want to know.
Right. And we get what you're doing. Fine. Just we don't need to see that. We don't need to know what's going on in there. Appropriate attire shows up on the list. Dressing inappropriately for an occasion, whether underdressed or overdressed, can attract silent judgment. Appropriate attire shows respect for the event and its host. Also, let's be clear on the attire, please. I
feel
will
like
say that.
overdressed, I'm not going to judge you. I just assume you made a wrong decision. But I will never take that as an insult.
Sure.
But if it's a wedding and you show up, in a tank top and jorts, it's like, bro.
Right.
I mean, come on, man.
You also know your friends. Like if someone's coming over to my house, they know. They
Sure.
can wear whatever the hell they want.
Exactly.
But if like Matt's dad or somebody, like if you're going to somebody else's house, like you know that you just look.
Wear something with a collar on.
Just depending on the crowd.
I
Maybe
mean, it
that's
also
not the case
depends on age, where you live in the
Yes,
country,
sure.
right? Like what is fine to dress here in Seattle for like dressing up might not be, I don't know.
Would not fly.
Not in the East Coast.
Yeah. Right.
But we've always been known as a very casual town. The Metropolitan Grill, I mean, anywhere else in this country, I will dress up to go there because I know it's a nice place, but you don't have to.
No, you don't.
Rock stars walk in there with T-shirts on, and they get the same treatment as anybody else.
Rock stars can do that anywhere. Here's my question.
Well, that's a
all
good point.
It'll say casual, cool, I dig it. Formal attire, cool, I dig it, just because I understand. What exactly is business casual? Like, anytime it says that, I understand you're saying don't be particularly formal.
Have buttons on your shirt and don't wear denim.
Don't wear denim.
Okay. Correct. That's the rules.
All right.
Oh,
Seriously.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why because every time I see it, I'm like, that's cool, but I have no effing idea.
Right. Wear something with buttons on it and no denim.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Business casual.
Yeah, I get called out a lot on the East Coast for not wearing ties and stuff anymore. I'm like, all right.
We don't live here
It's a
anymore.
wedding on a Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m.
In August.
Really? Are we still that backed up about ties?
On the East Coast, Northeast for sure.
I mean, like my one buddy was giving me crap for wearing like a button up and jeans to the rehearsal dinner. And I just, after a while, I kind of was just getting annoyed. And I was like, those khakis, like, you look like you got them off a thrift store. Right. Well, it's like, so technically you're wearing khakis, but I don't think you look more dressed up than I did.
Do you know my jeans cost
Respectful listening shows up there, interrupting others while they're speaking or not paying attention during conversations.
Who does that anymore?
Rude. I don't know. I was waiting for one of you to do it. Keeping secrets.
I was going to say, the interrupting can be tough, too, depending on where you are. Like, sometimes I have to consciously, especially if you've been having a few beverages, be like, let this person finish. Even though there might be something in there, like, let them finish.
And it depends on the company, all right? Because we would interrupt each other, but we all just rapid fire talk.
It's what we do here.
So you're just going to jump in real quick. But the thing is, it's like stick and move.
Right.
Like, back out, right?
Correct.
Other people, you go, like, just let them finish. They're not used to the barrage of the verbal from us.
I mean, it's just known on this show that we talk all over each other, but we got 4 people that like to jabber in here, so you kind of do have to just step on each other in order to actually be able to get your words out.
You do, and you still hear each other. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, look, we got 4 puppies, we got 3 bowls.
That's right.
And the food is served at the same time. A little bit of fighting going on there.
Keeping secret shows up on the list again. Unspoken rules of etiquette that society judges you for breaking. Breaking someone's trust by revealing their secret is a serious breach of social etiquette.
Yes,
Duh,
it's a secret. That's what the word says, man.
Right. Now, I will say, I feel like there are rules with secrets.
What do you mean?
There are secrets that you tell people that can't get out to anybody. This is between you and me.
Yeah.
There's other secrets that you'll tell me that, sorry, the lady in the other room, she's going to know what the secret is.
I will say that 9 times out of 10 that I tell someone something, that's a secret, I know their significant other's going to hear this
Correct.
as well. Right?
Sorry,
That's
you
correct.
like to talk about it.
Right. And you're very clear when it's like, hey, man, this is between me and you. And you understand. It's not a problem.
Absolutely.
But yeah, if I tell you something, I assume Ms. Hawk will hear about this later.
Absolutely.
Steve got herpes again.
Right.
It's just...
That's why you know all of her secrets.
Again.
Yeah, I'm with you. If somebody's married, I just assume they'll tell them. I'm just also assuming they're not going to tell anybody else.
Right. Well, and usually the secret that you tell to somebody is a harmless person to tell. They are not somebody that is going to...
Nothing vicious.
...affect what that secret is about.
Right.
If I got a secret about Ted, I'm not going to tell you guys. Because then you're going to sit there and leer at him the entire time.
I also think it depends on kind of what it is.
I'm sleeping with your wife, but keep it secret.
Yeah.
She already knows.
Right, and if it's something tough, like... I could say from my own personal experience, like, you might be embarrassed about what it is, but, like, if somebody tells their wife and then the wife brings it up to you, like, they're just looking out for you.
Correct.
So I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Plus, wives have all kinds of questions and guys just don't think.
Oh, my God.
And they're not necessarily bad, but I'm like,
oh, my God.
The 14 questions you asked them about this thing I told you, not one of them even crossed my mind.
Right.
They told me, I am done. We have moved on.
You guys spent 5 hours together. You didn't ask if
No.
he was dating anyone?
Nope.
Didn't come up.
Right. It's on his mind. He told me. I said, damn, that sucks. Sorry you're going through, but I was there for him for support. That's all that. He's going through it.
I can watch that Brian Regan stand up forever. it's just right. So on the money.
But also, again, we talked about this, but also the OTAs are going on.
There you go.
Right after sharing the secret, we're talking about how the draft went.
It bothers him enough to where he told me about it because he's got to get it out there that he's struggling with it. Cool. I'm here to fight with you. I ain't going to ask any questions beyond that.
And look, sometimes you're going through something that can be really serious, but like, I don't know everybody that well. So I don't need to tell them everything.
Right.
And then also, you might be going through something and just like, you know what, today taking a little break. I'm going to go, like that Brian Regan. Like, I'm going to go play golf with the boys. We're not going to talk about it.
Right.
No, it's not why I'm there.
We are here to play, relax, not think about this.
Yeah.
Clear the mind. Don't keep a lot of secrets. Like, if we're getting together, like, we drank, got kind of drunk,
talked about sports,
and then we're home.
Played a few games of Would You Rather, and then called it good.
I know that my wife, anytime we went to Vegas, what are you guys doing? Exactly what you think we're doing.
Right, we're drinking,
There's
we're gambling,
no
we're having
ulterior
fun.
motive. We are hammered. I am high on drugs. I'm trying not to get kicked out of a casino.
Next time,
we're going to swim.
next
But I mean,
time-
like, it's the same story.
Next time, I just bought everyone tickets to a show.
Yeah. Who is this? Where's my husband?
And then the number one unspoken rule of etiquette that society judges you for breaking: loud public conversations. Taking a phone call on speaker or talking loudly in public spaces often is frowned upon. It's seen as a disregard for the shared environment and others' peace.
I'll say this, though. Loud talkers do not know they're loud talkers, and no one steps in to tell them.
Correct.
I mean, I do with some people, knowing them really close.
But how long does it last? It lasts like 30 seconds.
And I'm like, do you need to get your ears checked?
Right.
Like, is something wrong?
Some
here?
people just
we've got a
project.
friend who, right, she just projects. And even they're quiet. They're aware that they're loud, but they're naturally loud, so they're quiet for 30, 45 seconds. But once they continue with the conversation, the volume goes back up to where it always is.
Right. Damn.
I'm a loud one, baby.
Well, Miles, it sounds like a group of people in Paris are organizing one crappy flash mob.
What is that all about?
Tell you all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This at 206-803-ROCK. Have we made it to drinking time?
Welcome to Nada Yada Island. This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
I've been on the hunt for the perfect planner for years, but could never find anything that worked for my life. Then I found Zinnia, an app that's totally customizable and makes planning so easy. Zinnia helps me record special moments, track goals, schedule self-care, and document my life. Zinnia has so many cute journal templates, habit trackers, to-do lists, and more. I use my phone on the go, then switch to my iPad to edit, add photos, and draw, and voila! Everything looks great. Am I obsessed? Maybe. Shh. Download Zinnia on the App Store today.
Why Kate Farms Nutrition Shakes will take you one step closer to achieving your health goals. First off, every shake is made with high-quality ingredients and organic, plant-based pea protein. Lastly, each Kate Farms Nutrition Shake is designed for easy digestion. Learn more at www.katefarms.com.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island. This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
I had so many ideas to add to my journal, but would forget by the time I got home. Then I found Zinnia, the app that easily helps me record special moments and ideas, track my goals, schedule self-care moments, and document things that matter most. Zinnia makes creating content and ideas across screens so easy. Zinnia has so many cute journal templates, habit trackers, to-do lists, weekly logs, and more. I use my iPhone on the go and then switch to my iPad to edit, add photos, and draw. Then I can add directly to my socials. Download Zinnia on the App Store today.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Yeah, just got my Ecobee smart home when nosy Ned next door came over with questions about it. Ecobee? What's that? You should get the system I've got, he said. I told him Ecobee is really smart and listed off a few great Ecobee features. He went from smug to envious real quick. Turns out Ecobee is a lot smarter than his better-known smart home. So I consoled him and said, Ned, get yourself a smarter home. Ned's over a lot now. Visit Ecobee.com today.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith from the Men's Room. And did you know I have a podcast? Well, I do. The Podcast. New episodes uploaded every Wednesday on the Odyssey app.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Great time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed, and today we toast Officer Anthony Hare, that is his name, Anthony Hare of the San Diego Police Department. Now, Officer Hare had been assisting in the arrest of individuals suspected of car theft. Well, one of the suspects was a woman with an outstanding bench warrant. So, all Officer Hare had to do was drive her from the scene to the police station so she could be processed. But the woman, well, she had other ideas. She actually propositioned our hero as she's sitting in the back of the squad car asking him if he's single and saying, quote, I'm down to F right now. Now, Officer Hare asked her not to say such things because his body cam was on and everything is recorded. But that didn't stop her. She's like, whatever, man, I want to have sex with you. Well, at some point, the body cam video, it was turned off. And Officer Hare and the woman, well, they had sex. But the question is, how do we know? Because it's not like he went back and bragged about it. But this is how we find out. You see, he overlooked one very important detail about police cruisers, which is, Ted, if you're in the back, what do the back doors not do from the inside?
Open.
That is correct. Back doors locked from the outside and cannot be opened from the inside. Now, he did not think of this, went back there and had sex. So he had to radio other officers to get his ass out of there. But when the officers showed up, they questioned, what are you doing? And I kind of like his excuse. He said, look, man, I thought she was having a medical episode, right? So I pulled over onto a residential street under some trees, climbed in the back to assist her. They said, okay. That's a good story. We're just wondering, why is there so much semen everywhere? Yay. So no pun intended, he then came clean. He has since resigned. Not fired, but he resigned.
And I want to say the headline I saw in the body cam, she was like, I'm DTF.
Oh, yeah. Dude, she was, yeah. And he's just like, don't say it, it's being recorded. And then he got to town. But again, yeah, those cruiser doors are open from the inside and the back. Oops.
I mean, that happened in Super Troopers. It's a comedy.
Yeah, fine point. So we pour this booze, and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies.
Down the hola, bichola.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
Yes, Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. The texter just made a good point, and this is true. They say Officer Hare is bald as hell. He is. It's the irony of it.
But he's fast.
But it's a simple game, Miles, where we share with you a real-life news story. Something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Rob. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola. Rob, you understand how this here game is played?
Yes, sir, I do. And real quick, I just want to say the Men's Room IPA is delicious. Thank you, gents. And for everyone listening, you can find it at the 6th Ave Chevron in Tacoma next to Winco.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Excellent work.
Appreciate that, Rob.
Rob, you have your choice of one of three stories today. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem. And finally, Hit Me with Your Best Shot, where you guess the unconventional weapon that someone chose to use as a weapon.
Hit me with your best shot.
Here is your story. After responding to a reported domestic battery in St. Petersburg, Florida, Cops gave this account of the incident, quote, "The defendant threw something at the victim, striking him in the center of his torso." Investigators went on to say that the confrontation began when 18-year-old Damian Caston began arguing with his brother about, quote, ongoing domestic issues. Now, Caston is paralyzed, but as they say, ambulatory by using his upper body. So he can move around just with his arms, all right? So after Caston damaged walls inside of the home, he became aggressive toward his sibling and a witness, and then he attempted to throw items at both of them. Well, at that point, Caston's brother and a witness, they lifted and carried the defendant outside for, as they say, the safety of all. Then they went inside and called 911. Well, Caston then grabbed another object, threw it at his brother, striking him in the chest. Charged with domestic battery, he was booked into the county jail. Now, a judge has ordered Caston to have no contact with his brother and granted the accused man a one-time visit to the home in the presence of police to retrieve his personal items. Now, the question is, after they lifted his ass up and threw him outside, what is it that he threw and struck his brother in the chest with? Was it a garden gnome? Was it a plastic flamingo? Was it one of his crutches? Or was it a soiled diaper? So garden gnome, plastic flamingo, a crutch, or a soiled diaper?
So, two Florida brothers get into a fight about domestic violence, and somebody gets something chucked at their chest.
That's basically the story in a nutshell.
All right. And there were no drugs involved?
Not that's related in the story. Apparently, whatever their issue is an issue that's been going on between the two of them for a while. Do not know what it is. But yeah, started getting physical. They took him outside, called 911, and that's the whole thing.
All right, Thrill, what are you thinking?
Well, I know the answer, but I'm the right person to ask.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Mike, Ted?
Is he at the point where he would be wearing a diaper?
I don't know.
I mean, just because it seems awesome, I'm going with gnome.
Gnome.
Some of them could be tiny.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And ceramic.
I'm going to go soiled diaper. He's got it on him.
Did the guy who got hit, he said he had to go to the hospital, right?
He did not have to go to the hospital, no. He wasn't injured. He's just tired.
I'm definitely going to go with soiled diaper.
Okay.
It's outrageous.
We're going to find out what the brother hit the other brother with. Was it a garden gnome, a plastic flamingo, a crutch, or a soiled diaper next?
That was a tease.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island. This season on Nada Yada Island.
When we were new, they spoiled me. They even gave me a phone. But then, it's like I didn't exist.
Don't take yada yada from your wireless carrier. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Just bring your number and ID and sign up for an eligible plan. After 12 months, trade in and get our best deals on select devices.
What are you doing? My weekly planner. On your iPad? On the Zinnia app. It has all different templates and creative tools. It's so much fun. I can import photos and add stickers.
You haven't heard of Zinnia? It helps me keep track of my kids' sports and dance classes right from my iPhone. Zinnia even helps me save important moments, like when my daughter scored the winning goal last week. I was able to upload a picture and the final score.
Wow, okay. It seems like everyone but me uses Zinnia. How do I spell it? Zinnia? All right, I'm downloading it now.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Meet the Bed by Thuma, the perfect platform bed frame. Thoughtfully handcrafted from upcycled wood, the bed is strong, backed by a lifetime warranty, and ships directly to your door. Assembly takes 5 minutes, no tools needed. To get $25 towards the bed, go to Thuma.co. That's THUMA.co to receive $25 off your purchase of the bed. Shop the bed at Thuma.co.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Category, send me with your best shot-out profile. This got a couple of Florida brothers got involved in a little brawl there. Apparently, they've been having issues for a while there. But one of the brothers was in a wheelchair. Mm-hmm. And apparently, he had been damaging the house or whatever the other brother accused him of. Either way, they get into a bit of a spat. Some stuff is thrown inside the house. They pick the brother up, they take him out, they put him on the lawn so that they can call 911, get the situation taken care of. Brother goes outside, and the brother who was out on the lawn ends up throwing something at his brother and hitting him in the chest.
And that basically sums it up. And Rob, the question we had was
garden gnome, plastic flamingo, a crutch, or a soiled diaper.
And that is granted, you asked me, what do I think? I know the answer, but that's the best place to start. But let us start with D. Ted Smith. You opened the old garden gnome. Now he's busy filming Travelocity commercials. He couldn't make it.
By the way, real quick, my sister lives in South Baltimore.
Yeah.
She had a Washington Commanders gnome. One day she came out of the house. Somebody had just spiked it and broke it.
Oh! I mean, come on, Baltimore. I know if it were Steelers, I'd be like, okay, well, there's no rivalry. There's no rivalry. Anyway, Rob, you ended up agreeing with Miles that it was a diaper. Okay. By the way, not just the diaper. So he ripped it off of his own body, all right, but he had soiled it. So when the cops got there, part of the report was the evidence was obvious because there's a poop stain on the brother's torso where the diaper hit him, and then, as they said, residue from the soiled diaper.
Yeah. That's the only reason. Well, he called 911 before that, so there's obviously more of a reason, right. But, you know.
And his brother, of all the things, ripped off his diaper, which they said soaked with urine and feces.
Now, for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
So this is kind of a sad way to start it off, but we got to talk a little bit about Bill Walton, who passed away. Now, Bill Walton, I didn't remember him as much of a player. But even as a kid, he was kind of a giant character. I mean, he was a giant man.
Sure. I mean, we're a little too young to remember him playing basketball.
Right. And I did not realize how many injuries he had, right? Mm-hmm. He was part of that UCLA team that I want to say won 70-some games in a row.
Damn.
Or almost 80. I think they ended up losing to Notre Dame or something. So he wins national titles there. But you hear all these stories, right? So if you watched any sports yesterday, you heard a lot of Grateful Dead. And that's because he was a massive deadhead.
In every way.
I didn't realize he was such a deadhead that, he's buddies with everybody in the band. He's even played with them, this and that. And he was well known among those things. But there's been a ton of stories coming out, just kind of like the person he was. I know I saw Mike Greenberg on ESPN talking about when he was in his radio days with Mike Golick. They did a wedding. And I guess they used to have Bill Walton on.
All right.
Bill Walton hears about it. And basically, look, we all work in radio. We know how these radio things work. The audience for the wedding is basically just people that work at ESPN Radio.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Maybe a couple of friends and family. And you see the video, and there's Bill Walton. And he said Bill Walton was just like, that sounds fun. I'm going to come by. And that's, like he was saying, that's just kind of the way he lived his life or whatever. I've seen other segments with him and Dick Vitale where the hosts just basically, they just go off, just let him talk.
Yeah.
So he was pretty famous for his stream of thought and this and that. And if you watch Pac-12 basketball games, you've heard him do numerous games. The Pac-12 ended. He always called it the Conference of Champions. So it's almost kind of sad and poetic that as the conference leaves, so does Bill Walton.
So does Bill, yeah.
But here's just a little example of him saying something, stream of thought, talking about the honey hole.
If he can handle it there at the honey hole, then you're going to have a chance to come up with a whole different variety of offensive attack.
Why don't you explain that term? What is the honey hole?
A honey hole is a long-term basketball phrase where it's right at the free throw line area. That's where the honey is, right? We were talking about Winnie the Pooh. It all rolls into one, right? You're looking for the honey. So you get to the honey hole, and then good things happen. And when you're playing against the zone defense, when you're playing any kind of basketball, you want to get that ball to the free throw line, the honey hole. So that's what's going to set up your offensive attack.
Yeah, just crazy stuff. And he was a basketball nerd. I saw one of my old teachers that was an assistant at DeMatha for years. He posted a picture of some tournament. It's Morgan Wooten, it's John Wooden, who coached at UCLA, and then he's in the picture. And so is Bill Walton. That's the way he said it. Like, everybody at this event, they want pictures with Coach Wooten and Coach Wooden, right?
Sure.
So he goes, I just kind of, I'm a nobody. I'm going to, he's a teacher, assistant coach. So he's like, so I sat on the side and just kind of waited 45 minutes. He goes, now here's part of the story I don't generally tell is he said Bill Walton, for whatever reason, I guess just wasn't like signing autographs or whatever. And he said Bill Walton just sat there and talked to him for 45 minutes about life, about DeMatha, like what is coach, basically like, what is Coach Wooten doing? I respect him. I want to know this and that. And he's like, you're Bill Walton. You've already been in the NBA. Like,
but you care.
Yeah. Just pretty amazing stuff. The other greatest story I heard from him passing away over the weekend was, if you know anything about John Wooden, how many titles they win at UCLA and everything. But he had a way he ran a system, right? Every year. Doesn't matter if it's the whole team could be returning. They start with tying their shoes. That was just his focus on fundamentals. It's the way we tie our shoes at UCLA. So he had a rule like the Yankees used to, no long hair, no beard. So I guess Walton shows up. He's already kind of a hippie. He's from San Diego. He's got long hair and a beard or whatever. And Coach Wooden tells him, that's not what we do here. So Bill Walton gives him this big passionate speech about he think he's doing something good, kind of anti-war and this and that. And Coach Wooden just looks at him and says, I get where you're, I thank you. I respect. I know why you're doing this now. I'll watch you at another college.
Yeah. I'll tell you a good one about him, man. On a totally different note, one thing he's left to this world. So when he was in Portland playing for the Trailblazers, he's a vegetarian. But like anything else, you're burning a lot of calories you want to eat. So his spot was Old Town Pizza, which is down by the original Voodoo Donuts in downtown Portland, kind of near the train station, right? But again, a vegetarian. And at the time, Old Town Pizza, they had 4 pizzas. This is just, this is early 70s, mid 70s.
Yeah, there's no vegetarian choice.
There's no vegetarian pizza. So Bill would bring in like artichoke hearts and all these things. And so you could get whatever mix of toppings you want, obviously, on any pizza. But when you look at a signature pizza, like double pepperoni, pepperoni and sausage, like the
Supreme. There's always meat.
There's the options that are available. And so he wanted a vegetarian pizza. So like, Bill, you're Bill Walton. We'll make you a vegetarian pizza. His pizza is still on the menu there. And he's kind of credited unofficially with the first person to put the cheeseburger pizza on the menu, so to speak, or the taco pizza on the menu. Right?
Yeah.
So the vegetarian pizza was never on the menu until Bill Walton made it a thing. Not that you couldn't get whatever you wanted. But all those weird ingredients weren't kind of part of the pie.
And I think, too, with his impact on broadcasting, we're so used to nowadays, like, look, he broke a lot of the rules and would just go on these tangents. Now, look, I'm a sports nerd, so I would watch a lot of these games. Some of them were blowouts. He was the best part of it. And his partners always kind of worked with him and, like, you're still going to put in what the score is or whatever.
Sure.
But they would just let him go kind of train of thought because he was funny. And the stories, even if they made no sense or didn't make sense to you, like they were funny and entertaining stories.
Yeah.
California Golden Bears are playing. And he goes off on this tirade. He's like, here's what the Bears need to do. They need to get aggressive. Now, have you ever been to British Columbia or wherever the hell it is? He's like, no, let me tell you what the Bears do there. Now, he didn't just go off on this, but he's right about everything he's saying.
You just don't know how it applies necessarily.
He's talking about bears, like bear bears.
Yeah, like bears.
Not the bears on the court. He's talking about bears and how these bears need to emulate these bears, be on the aggressive like they have cubs, and you need to attack. And that's what these bears do, and they protect the family, they protect the team, they protect the young.
Bro, dude, it's a nickname.
Yeah. I mean, the guy was a legend. I don't know that you're going to see a lot of that stuff anymore. I feel like, especially at broadcast, it's kind of like, well, you have the straight-laced play-by-play guy, and then I think in college sports you get a little looser.
Sure.
But I don't know. He always entertained me, and I like his kind of, he was always very positive about stuff. And
he was a positive dude.
The guy went through a lot of ups and downs. He was severely injured most of his career and everything. I also read a story that said after he won a title for the Celtics, he went over to Larry Bird's house that night, and Larry's like, hey, man, I'm already in bed. And he's got a bottle of wild turkey. He said, yeah, no worries. Like, I'm just going to sit in your kitchen. I'll be here when you get up. Like, Bird goes to bed. He gets up, and then there he is.
Bill Walton.
Still being Bill Walton. I guess a little drunker, but just like, hey, Larry.
I told you.
I've been up all night just thinking about our victory. It's like, okay.
I like it as a pro. Hey, man, I'm already in bed. Oh, no worries, dude. I'll just sit in your kitchen.
Also,
Okay.
the rules of broadcasting in basketball, Vince Scully could go on for days of stories of just things in his lifetime. It had nothing to do with baseball, but baseball needs a lot of gaps to fill.
For sure.
Bill would do that in the middle of, a tie basketball game in the fourth quarter
Right.
where, and another three. Some of the play-by-play guy would drop in, and Bill keep telling a story about absolutely nothing. He didn't care.
All right, let's talk about some TV shows that ended or stars threatening to leave. Patricia Richardson, she was the mom on Home Improvement.
All right, I'm like, I know her name. Right.
Now, this is her version, so we got to keep that in mind. But basically, the show was, look, I watched it we loved it, right? You had the neighbor next door. You never saw his face. The whole thing was great. But it only lasted 8 seasons. She said, basically, after 8 seasons, her and Tim Allen both wanted out. But ABC wanted another year out of him. They offered Tim $2 million per episode and her $1 million. So she obviously went to him and said, well, you got to pay me too if I'm going to stay. Like, I should get equal pay. And then as she says, as she expected, they pulled the plug. She says, I knew Disney would in no way pay me that much. That was my way to say no, and it was a little bit to flip off to Disney. She said she was upset with Tim at the time because he kept his mouth shut and basically let her walk in there to be the bad guy because they both wanted out.
Sure.
Yeah.
You go take care of this.
Right. Come on. And then this one's interesting. I guess Jason Alexander, he's been in a bunch of stuff, but you'd best know him as George Costanza. So I guess he threatened to leave Seinfeld when George wasn't getting enough screen time. Michael Richards talks about it in an upcoming memoir. He says Jason was furious learning he wasn't in a season 3 episode, The Pen, which Michael Richards wasn't in either. But like he said, look, he came onto the show with the most confidence of anyone. He had already won a Tony Award, which is a pretty big award.
Yeah.
Great for stage actors.
For sure.
And until the table read for The Pen, he assumed Seinfeld was a buddy show, basically just about him and Jerry, as opposed to the other characters. Right. And listen, I'll be dead honest with you. I'm a Seinfeld fanatic, and I don't, now that when I read this morning, I was like, oh yeah, I guess there is episodes you don't see the other ones as much, but it never really dawned on me as much. You know what I mean? Like,
if you're enjoying the episode, yeah, you don't notice.
And he also says, but this business breeds both massive egos and incredible insecurity. The episode was one of those ego-drawing wake-up calls. He's talked about, and Jason's previously talked about it. He went off on Larry David, and he says, quote, thank God he didn't say take a hike because I would have no life or no career. So even he's, at the passion of the moment, he's ready to run out of there, and then it's like, yeah, thank God Larry David didn't let me walk. Also, has anybody in here watched the Pop-Tart movie yet?
No.
I haven't. I heard it
What are the
wasn't
reviews?
great.
Yeah.
Not awesome, which is kind of disappointing, as I was really looking forward to that one, but I saw somebody was like, well, now we figured out who the Belichick and the Brady are. And
oh, wow.
And Larry David. I'll tell you what, man.
Not a compliment.
I watched a couple episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm on the plane, one of the plane rides I was on. I had not watched that show in a while. Jesus, I forgot how uncomfortable some of those scenes were. I mean, just brutal. I was like, man, this is awful. Pretty good. We've been talking about The Office all day. I'd like to tell you to go home and watch basketball tonight because you have Game 4 of Minnesota Timberwolves and Dallas Mavericks.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like it's going to be a sweep. The Celtics already swept the Pacers. Which is weird. It was a good series, but close games. But the Celtics were just better.
Just better.
If you're into competitive series, go watch some NHL hockey. Those series have been a lot closer, and I hope Minnesota gets a game. You know me, I've been high on Minnesota for a minute now, and I'm just like, Jesus, Luka Doncic just kind of proved I'm Luka Doncic. The main thing you got to look for here, folks, is that if Dallas wins, what they should win this series, people in Boston hate Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving pretty much hates the people of Boston. So that matchup should be pretty damn exciting to see what happens.
Yeah. And the shoes. Jeez Whiz. Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of fine lines and wrinkles? Dermaclara has the solution. Our 100% medical-grade silicone patches are designed to naturally reduce wrinkles and improve skin texture. Safe, effective, and reusable, these patches deliver visible results in as little as 20 minutes and lasting results in just 30 days. Our customers rave about their transformations. Plus, with our satisfaction guarantee, you can try Dermacare risk-free. Discover the power of natural skincare at dermaclara.com and say hello to youthful, radiant skin.
Your kiddo will love Kate Farms Kids Nutrition Shakes. For starters, each nutrient-dense kids shake is made with love for your child's growth and development. With 3 flavors to choose from, strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla, your kiddo will be begging for more. Get 25% off your first purchase with code AUDIO. Exclusions may apply. See katefarms.com for details.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Attention, Spirit passengers. We finally get to do one of those pesky water touchdown down landings. Thanks. Meanwhile, 2 boaters are safe taking on water, but fortunately, no one drowns. San Diego cop is quick on the job to make the first move. One school bus driver in Tampa definitely has room to improve. And the French plan to serve up a hot bowl of poop for the Olympics. It's time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
All right, our top story, we head over the water to the scene of the 2024 Olympic Games, Paris. In preparation for the Olympic Games, the mayor made an announcement that the local river would be cleaned up and even promised to take a swim in the river herself as a show of good faith that they had indeed cleaned it up. In light of that announcement, an idea began to brew amongst locals on the internet, who then set up an event on the day of the mayor's swim to defecate in the river all at once on that day.
Oh, wow.
This comes on the heels of a sewer system issue the year prior that mucked up the river, which hadn't been cleared up and even caused the cancellation of a pre-Olympic swimming event. Like, we're going to go take a dump in the river.
Oh,
jeez.
Sam Supu.
So just like Brazil.
What happened to Brazil again?
Oh, the water was so bad. People were getting infections and like triathlon athletes or
God.
Oh, it was bad.
And then when they were over in Russia, like I feel like the rooms were just uninhabitable. There were like bathroom doors that were coming off the hinges and whatnot. Can we get an Olympic host to like host?
You got to remember what Russia, man, because one thing we made fun of, turns out culturally it made sense in Russia. So they set up all those bathrooms, and it was 2 stalls right next to each other with no partition.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, what the F? And then a couple of Russian heritage folks gave us a call and said, bro, in Russia, that's not unusual.
Gotcha.
And I was like, oh, okay, well, to most people, that's...
To most,
when you're doing your stinky work, you want some loneliness.
Exactly. In other news, we head down to the Daytona area of Florida, where a bus filled with high school upperclassmen had an interesting field trip. After a long bout of fundraising, the local school was able to send a bus of teenagers and parent chaperones to the local water park known as, wait for it, Daytona Lagoon. But on the way to the park, they noticed something was off about their bus driver. Mainly that he was blowing through red lights with no real concern. After realizing that he may be impaired behind the wheel, the group began screaming at him to stop and contacted their loved ones to inform them of the situation. This turned out to be the best course of action, as a couple of relatives of one of the students that lived nearby, and they jumped in the truck to catch up with him. The story ends on a good note, as the relative was able to slow the bus to a stop by blocking their path in a roundabout. The driver was arrested on DUI charges, and the students were able to make their field trip destination, albeit shaken up by the incident.
It is weird. I'm sure times have changed, or how they vet people has changed. But looking back to my elementary school days, the guy that drove our school bus for the majority of the time I was there, pretty sure he was a drunk.
Was he?
Like, as a kid, it just he just had the breath that you smelled on several of your parents' friends. You know what I mean? Always kind of in a good mood. But yeah, looking back, I'm like, I think that guy probably drove us drunk, not hammered, but certainly drunk 75% of the time.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and I said it's just, you didn't really notice it then. He never did anything to put us in danger that we were aware of. But yeah, I think his name was Fred or Frank, one of the two. Everyone loved the guy, but it's like...
I would just think your job is driving.
Yeah.
Drinking shouldn't be a part of, your pre-job activities.
To be fair, there's not a lot of jobs where they encourage you to drink before you do it.
Sure. I just feel like operating a large, heavy machinery, which at that point I would consider it be, right, with children on board... That should...
I don't get it.
No, I agree. Look, if you're drunk and you drive a forklift and you go over the side of the road, everyone's like, dumbass.
Right.
You got a bus load of children, you're drunk. It's like, people want to kill you. You're like Frankenstein's a monster.
Exactly. And the fact that they were screaming at him to stop, and he was apparently just unresponsive. Like, they didn't even mention what the bus driver said. I don't know if he was just soldiering on, like, screw you guys, I know what I'm doing.
I don't know, you never.
Right? And the thing is, they were talking to the driver of the truck, and they said, we actually didn't even know if he was actually going to stop. We tried to cut him off, and we ended up just slamming on the brakes in the roundabout so that he couldn't go anywhere, and thank God he just came to a stop on it.
Well, at least that tipped him off.
Yep.
If the red lights don't do it, then a vehicle in front of him.
Everybody was terrified. Like, well, there's a bus barreling down the road with a drunk at the wheel who doesn't know what the hell's going on. And do you even want to go to the water park after that?
I think they probably need it. As an adult, we'd be like, I want to go to the bar. Because that's what we do sometimes to burn the edge off.
Sure.
If the kid's having a bad day, I'm like, we're taking you to the water park. That's the equivalent of them, to me, going, we're doing shots tonight.
Plus, right,
It's
they're
fun.
kids. At the end of the day, it's like, well, we're still going to the water park, right?
You know what? You're exactly right.
Does this ruin
They
our
could have
day
been
at the
there for
water
8
park?
hours, cops taking statements and be like, can we go to the water park?
Well, and the fact that there's chaperones on that bus, too, it's like, what were you guys doing when the drunk was driving?
Right.
Like, I don't want to victim blame over here, but at the same time,
But as the part of you being a chaperone, not that you expect to be in that situation, but if you are, they kind of count on you.
It's kind of like the people in the emergency lane on the airplane. Like, most of the people that they're checking is like, I know you have no plans on helping anybody in any event of an emergency.
But what is that exactly is that? Because I've been asked, and I know that, do you speak English, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I go, yeah. And would you help people if you're in this land? And I go, yeah, I mean, time of, man, I do not guarantee.
I'll say yes so we can get this plane off
Is
the
it
ground.
a water landing? Yes.
Right.
Is the plane on fire? No.
Right.
Sorry.
And I think the thing is assisting people that need assistance out of there. Look, if I'm on the plane, you do not
Sure.
need to help me get out of there unless I busted my frickin' leg. You know what I mean?
You got another leg, Mike. Hop! Plane's on fire, dummy.
We go down under, where a flight had to be turned around. Speaking of flying, the plane was headed for Melbourne from Perth and was about an hour into the voyage when somebody decided to ruin the good time. A witness says the passenger went nuts mid-flight and began running up and down the aisle, banging on the cockpit door and knocking down a flight attendant, all while completely naked.
Of
Why?
course.
Why?
Because they want to let you know they're crazy, not just angry.
You know what? That's part of it.
Like, if he's just doing it, you go, like, maybe this guy snapped about something, you know what I mean?
Sure.
When they're naked, you go, oh, hey, good news. Look, man, they're just nuts.
I just got to go full send. Hey, I see what you did there. The man was apprehended and taken to the back of the plane, which unfortunately did have to turn around and head back to Perth to take the man into custody, which,
No.
again, I ask, why? We're an hour in. We're halfway there. Why are we turning around?
Mike and I said this earlier today, right?
And that's people don't know. Those are clear across the country from each other.
Yes.
They are. And again, so you're flying from Seattle to Miami, all right? It's already a long-ass flight. You're not looking forward to it. We're an hour in, so it's behind me. This goes on. So if that same guy had a heart attack and he went on the plane, a doctor, we might have to make an emergency landing somewhere.
Sure.
We don't turn around. In this case, I feel like the captain should come on and be like, anybody irritable enough to take this dumbass down? Or do you want to go back to our starting point?
Right.
So I'll be like, hey, man, you give me a 6-pack of beer. I'll handle
See,
it.
I'll do you one better. Find the nearest major airport that we can land this plane. Kick his ass out the side door and get this thing back in the air.
Like a train.
Right.
Train.
I get it. You don't want to take him to the destination because he's proven that he can't be on the flight to the destination. Cool. I get it. Drop his ass off in KC. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like they say, are you capable of sitting in an emergency exit seat, right?
Right.
The flight attendants know. They're eyeing you down when you walk in.
Yeah.
Once you see that dude, the big-ass guy, you pull him aside and go, are you willing to kick some ass if we need you to?
Yes! Yeah,
If things go down,
Seriously. Because I'm worried about you opening up those doors, but more than likely something else weirder is going to happen.
Right.
Will you handle this forever?
And you
will
put
be
someone in a
hero.
headlock or a chokehold.
God, then that guy would just be so stoked sitting on that file. Like, come on, somebody do something,
Exactly,
please.
right?
Somebody try to get in that cockpit.
We got in the elevators today with a man. I've seen this guy in the building before, and he works the floor above us. And we get up, the elevator doors open, and this guy is 6'8", 6'9".
Big guy.
Probably like 380. Big long beard.
I don't even know where he bought his shoes.
It looks like he could punch a hole through your chest. He's like, I'm an IT guy upstairs. And I'm just like, do you also work as a bouncer? Because, right, on my flight, you're the first guy I talk to. Like, hey, what do you think it's like? But the flip side is, if you get out of hand, we're going to have to shoot you.
You're going down.
You're too big.
Men's Room Sports, the conference finals are on fire right now, as Ted had mentioned. The NHL has one game on tonight between Florida and New York, with the Rangers leading that series 2-1. That game on now over on ESPN and Plus. The NBA has one as well between Minnesota and Dallas over on TNT, with the Mavericks leading 3-0, looking to sweep, which is exactly what Boston did against Indiana to punch their ticket to the finals. Also tonight, your Seattle Mariners sitting 1-0 in the series as they host the Houston Astros tonight over on Root Sports. Luis Castillo starting out on the mound, and that game will
bang those trash cans
at 7 o'clock. That's right. Bang the trash cans. As far as your weather, looking pretty snotty out there tonight, but it should be clearing up soon with temperatures dropping to the high 40s into tomorrow, where we can expect partly cloudy skies and temperatures into the...
We already did that, Taz.
I hit the wrong
we did that already, dude.
My bad.
I was going to blame Taz.
I thought I had the system
thanks,
too.
Taz.
It's been a minute. That's it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawkins out.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow for the return of Who Sucks Less. Kevin Deers is up next. More Metallica tickets on the way.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
Are you a fan of mystery and adventure? Introducing June's Journey, the captivating free-to-play mobile game that will ignite your inner detective. Play as June Parker in a thrilling murder mystery adventure as you search for hidden objects to uncover the truth behind her sister's death. Step into the glamorous world of the Roaring '20s with stunningly illustrated scenes and over 1,000 mysteries to unravel. With new chapters added weekly, you'll never run out of clues to chase and suspects to interrogate. Plus, you can build your own island escape with beautiful gardens and buildings, and even join a detective club to collaborate with other players. Experience the thrill of being a detective and unravel the mystery in June's Journey. Download June's Journey now on your Android or iOS device, or play on PC through Facebook Games.
Start your summer road trip at Midas and get up to $30 off your next repair service. Plus, get a free closer look vehicle check to make sure you're road trip ready. So if you need a brake service and alignment check or tune-up, hit up Midas for up to $30 off. For more details, request your appointment at Midas.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Recess Mood is a delicious, sparkling water infused with functional ingredients like mood-lifting magnesium and stress-balancing adaptogens, so you can relax without the alcohol or the hangover. It's the perfect drink to relax with after a busy day, when you really need a moment to unwind. It's made with real fruit and comes in 4 true-to-fruit flavors like strawberry rose and raspberry lemon with no added sugar. Get 15% off the Recess Mood Sampler Pack at takearecess.com/mood. That's takearecess.com/mood.